be with some of you guys for a little bit. There's a lot going on. We've already talked about Mars going into Virgo, and of course Vedic sidereal astrology, not tropical Western. But Mars is going into a difficult house for everybody, and it's a house of enemies. It's a house of hard work, hard effort, details. It's a house that's going to involve, well, it's a zodiac sign that may involve court, may involve legal issues, may involve hardships of different sorts, even health issues. So I kind of wanted to come on and help you guys figure out your karma. So I think I'm going to do a pick a pile, and then I may answer some questions. But to be honest, you know, I do tarot, but I'm a healer. I'm someone that wants to take the poison out of your life, heal that, and make it better. That's what I really want to do, is just pull poison out of a situation. I have a Saturn placement in the 6th house, not in the sign of Virgo, but in a difficult sign of Scorpio. And I understand hardships and waiting and working hard and frustrations and enemies and battles. I understand it very well. I also understand delays very well. And I guess I just want to help you guys figure out your karma, because I read a lot of comments today and I had to stop. I just had to stop. I was going through, hitting my hearts and, you know, saying thank you and going through the comments like I like to do every day. And I just, honestly, I got a lot of anger. A lot of these comments, maybe not anger aimed towards me, but anger aimed towards a person that really upset someone, or a situation that someone's been dealing with, or an entire family that someone's not dealing with. So I thought today, let me help you guys. Let me help you, okay? I really do want to help you, you know, and if I ever come off as too strong or frustrating in any sense, just let me know. Let me know, okay? Because I don't want to come off and hurt people, that's for sure. I just want to help you. So I'm going to do 3 piles, and you guys can see which one you're attracted to for your karma, and then we'll talk a little bit about some questions. You guys have questions, and where karmas are in the chart. We've already discussed this on my channel, and maybe I'll have to make a playlist for astrology discussions. So I'm going to have to find it and maybe put it on a playlist. But we have already gone here once before about karmas, but we're here again. So I'm just going to revisit it for a little bit. And I really think that's going to help a lot of you guys, because I do have a lot of new people, and, you know, people need answers. People are having a hard time. Mars is no joke right now. It's difficult. It's difficult times. So here we are. Holy Spirit, please guide me to pile number 1. Please guide me to pile number 1. And Spirit, please guide me to pile number 2. Give me pile number 2. And pile number 3. Okay. All right, Spirit, please guide me in the right direction for pile number 1, 2, and 3 for the collective that is watching me. They need a message about their karma. Please give them a message this evening that can help. Give me pile number 2 and pile number 3. All right. Oops, okay. These really want to come out no matter what. They're just like, put me out. Okay. Put me out there, Steph. Get me out there. Almost done here. Okay, Ashley, I feel like what's wrong is right and what's right is wrong. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of confusion right now. I understand. Ashley, I'm fed up with the universe. Ashley, do you feel Maybe you may have been taught that the universe will come in as a helping aid or even a savior of sorts by religion or spirituality or healing, because I think that's where a lot of us have been led. We've been led to believe that the universe has answers and help. And I think the reality that we need to accept is the universe is what it is. It's an energy source. We create our environment and our experiences. Whether we're fully aware of that or not, we're creating it through our karmas, which is another reason why I'm here tonight, helping you guys. Because believe me or not, Ashley, you're not the only one. There's so many people in my comments. There's so many people that follow me that are just worn down, frustrated, upset, and they need some answers. And so I am here to help you tonight. So this is going to be really fun getting through these piles, and then I am going to help you with the astrology. So stay tuned. So glad you're still up. That's wonderful. You guys are awesome. Okay, Spirit, please guide me. Okay. Give me some advice. Give me some advice for the karmas. Okay. Pile number 2. Okay. Pile number 3. Oh, all right. Okay. So it's going to be an all-around reading for each of these karmas. Universe never fails, huh? Hi there. Hi, all my karma is harem situation, so to speak. Or angry people you fight for a man is my karma. For reasons. Oh, I'm so glad I'm here to talk to you guys and discuss a little bit about karmas in a little bit. I'm really excited. Okay, Spirit, show me pile number 1, karma with love. Show me the love karma for pile number 1. Love karma. Love karma. Okay. Love karma for pile number 2, please. Love karma. Okay. Love karma for pile number 3. Love karma for pile number 3, please. Okay. Okay. Last but not least, the oracle for every pile, and we're gonna get there. So you guys start picking pile number 1, 2, or 3. All right. You guys just start picking. Holy Spirit, please guide and direct me for pile number 1, karma. Pile number 1. What is a message pile number 1 needs to hear tonight? Please help me and guide me through these cards. An honest to goodness message for pile number 1. Okay. Pile number 2. Please give me a message for the pile number 2. The karma that is going on there. Okay, and give me a message for pile number 3. Pile number 3. Give me a message for pile number 3. Okay. All right, so let's get these associated here. Order. Order here. Sorry, it's kind of a mess there, guys, but I'm trying. I really am. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna give you guys a moment to pick a pile here. I was called to the lapis lazuli for pile number 3. All right, so that's what I was called to there. Middle pile, I was called to my amethyst cluster heart. Okay. Pile number 1, I was called to angelite, blue angelite, which is like an angel stone to me, angelic. So that's what I was called to. All right, I'm going to give you guys a moment to just meditate on this. Ask your question about your karma. And I want you to be led to one of these piles. Okay, I'm going to start with pile number 1. Number 1, we have 9 of Cups. Self-love, self-care, happiness, joy, wish fulfillment, feeling very good, taking care of self in the way that makes you see fit to being happy. All right? She looks very radiant. She's got roses. She's well fed. She's well loved. She's well kept. Okay, she's living on cloud 9. This 9 of Cups is in the upright position. All right. And that is Scorpio energy there. Okay. Deep love. The next card we have is Hand of Cards. Take a chance, a risk, being strategic, options, not showing your hand, and gambling. Secretiveness. Already Scorpio vibes, pile number 1. Okay. Then we have, it's just so complicated. All right, so a lot of mental frustrations, a lot of puzzles to be solved in your life here. Relationships, jobs, spirituality, everything's just so complicated. The true statement is you're seeing the truth. That's your true statement. You're seeing the truth. It's difficult to handle is what I'm hearing. Then we have religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. Okay, that is your love karma. So there is religion attached to your love karma. If you picked pile number 1. And something that needs to be healed is take off your mask. Okay, stop pretending to be someone you're not. Stop pretending to, I don't know, put on some kind of a facade. Maybe that 9 of Cups is more a facade than true happiness. Maybe that karma with the 9 of Cups is selfishness. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's self-love and self-care is your karma. But your belief system needs adjusting. I feel like if you picked pile number 1, to be honest, you know what you have to do to get out of situations in life. You already know the answers. And it's complicated because that's not what your heart wants. You're constantly fighting with your heart because your logic tells you what you should do. Your heart is just stubborn and wants what it wants because it wants it. You act like you've got it all together. You act like everything's fine. And that's hiding, not showing your cards, keeping a lot of secrets. Secrets from family, secrets from friends. You might even be in a religion or a spiritual place where you don't want the people that you go to church with or you go into some kind of believing group with, you don't want them to know what's really going on in your life. This means you might come to church with your family, you might have a believing family, but you're a clubber. You like to go drink, you like to go smoke, you like to go out to the clubs, wear revealing clothing, you like to maybe be a little bit more promiscuous than what your family would think you're doing. You know, maybe you're not straight. You know, you're hiding that from your family because they're religious. Maybe you don't want to follow your family's religion. You don't believe in what they believe in, but you're going along with it because that's the family. And so you're seeing the truth that religion's not all it's cracked up to be. It's important if it's important to you. My aunt posted a message on Facebook the other day about religion, and it had a picture of a nun wearing her garb and then a person wearing a hijab. And she was like, if you think this is terrible, but this isn't, you're a hypocrite. And I got offended to it because I said, I have a problem with both. However, if somebody wants to wear what they want to wear, who gives a crap? But when somebody's forced to wear something, that's when it comes into question. And there's a lot of rape and persecution and abuse in Catholicism with the nuns, and it's not right, and that is disgusting. And there's a lot of abuse and hatred and disrespect with people wearing the hijab also, being forced, even though that's not what they really feel they want to go along with. But it's their family, it's their history, it's what they're born into, or whatever. But for those that want to wear them, who are not seeing the ugly side of life, they chose to go that path, and they love it. And that's their path. So, no tea, no shade, no haterade. You know what I mean? Whatever the saying is, guys. To each their own. But the karma of someone here for pile number 1 is very much feeling like you're not really who you think you are. You're not really into what your family wants you to be into. You're seeing the truth about yourself, and you want out. You want to love yourself. You want to pull away. But it's a risk, and it's complicated. And even though you see your truth, you haven't spoken your truth. So a lot of your karma in pile number 1 is not revealing your real self. Maybe not even admitting your real self to yourself. There's a lot of secretism in pile number 1, so a lot of this karma can have something to do with the 8th house, the 9th house even, with Scorpio placements, the 12th house, even with the Scorpio placements or Libra placements. Saturn may be very much affected in those signs or aspecting. So yeah, there's a lot of, things are not what they seem. It's an illusion. It's a house of cards. And as soon as a card gets pulled from the house of cards, it all comes tumbling down. So anyways, that's pile number 1. Let's reveal your oracle. Number 11. Stop trying to appear different to who you really are. It's time to take the mask off and be the real you. You cannot get the love and attention you're craving by pretending to be someone you're not. Why are you so frightened to be honest with yourself and others? Do you feel that you'll lose friends and opportunities by showing others your imperfections, your fears and vulnerabilities? Are you constantly doing things to please others, even if doing this does not work for you? This card indicates that you're a people pleaser, and it's time to get to know yourself or reveal yourself and be an important part of your life authentically. This card indicates that you need time to get to know you again and to what's important in life. You will know that you are evolving when other people's judgments about you no longer impact you. If you have an incredible talent, believe in yourself. Don't hide your greatness because others feel envious or resentful. Remember, every great leader had people who loved them and believed in them, and as well as those who doubted and disliked them. It's okay to not be liked. It's okay to be judged. So yeah, pile number 1, there's a fear of judgment. I also had a vision where there could be someone who is deep down religious, someone who believes in God, someone who wants to read the Bible and be devout and be very spiritual in the religious path, but they've set down the religious path thinking they're going to lose opportunities with men or women if they carry that with them. So there may be some people that say, hey, I'm a believer of this faith, but it's not a major part of my life. I'm open to whatever. And what's going to happen is people are just open to letting whomever in their life that does not fit a part of their foundation, and they're going to get together with someone that doesn't care about spirituality, faith, or religion. They're going to leave a door open to someone that is not equally yoked. And that means it's a mess waiting to happen. And so somebody's karma may be getting into relationships in pile number 1 where you guys do not have the same faith. You don't have the same foundation or the same belief system. And that may be part of this karma that you're dealing with. And it's by not being authentic and saying either A, you're not a religious person and you're not into that, or B, you are a religious person and you are into that. And you need someone that would be a good mix for you. And by not revealing your truth because for fear of not having a partner is not being authentic. So yeah, this blue angelite is about truth, ironically. And that's funny how this just worked out. So your throat chakra is blocked, pile number 1, if you picked it. And it's about time you start speaking your truth and being authentic to who you really are. That's part of your karma. Okay, we're going to move into pile number 2 with this beautiful amethyst cluster. 21 minutes in. All right, let's reveal. Okay, so we got a message. Ashley, I am religious, but it sucks my family doesn't practice it and they push me into it. Interesting. Okay, so yeah, there's a lot of, we need to be who we really are. Live our life authentically there. All right, so pile number 2, first card out. We have in the upright 4 of Pentacles. So part of your karma involves financials, stability, getting grounded, having a good foundation, working hard, okay, having some kind of a practice. All right, this is about keeping your head above water, being well fed, well cared for, provided for. Yeah, this is going to be part of that karma. Let's get more in. The Phoenix, new phase, rekindle, renew, transformation, growth, changed mind. Getting a bigger picture here. Sometimes your foundation needs to be disrupted. Uh-oh, part of the karma. I'm already feeling it. If you pick this pile, your comfort zone will be wiped out. Ketu has a very strong place in your life for your karma. Ketu wants to destroy your comfort zone. Dark night of the soul. Damn, and it is Ketu for sure. Oh yeah, Taurus is strong here. Might have Ketu in the 2nd house or the 8th house. Might even have it in the 10th or the 11th. Possibly the 4th. Yeah, the Ketu is the south node of the moon. And those placements are strong there, and you're going to have a very difficult time. All right, let's get some more revelations. I already left that behind me. Whew, really going through it. Being left behind, abandonment issues are also a problem for the karma of pile number 2. Karma for love is give your relationship a chance. Work on your partnership. Your karma, this is like a Venus in Virgo. You got to work on it. You got to work hard. And we currently have Venus in Virgo, ironically. So you're really feeling this energy of we need to work on this. It might also be that someone has left you behind, your karma. And you want that second chance, but they already left it behind them. And so your dark night of the soul is trying to make a relationship work with someone that is leaving you in the dust. And you're supposed to rise like the phoenix. Without this person attached. Part of your karma is if you do overcome your codependency issues or someone like them, they, you know, you can have a rekindled transformative relationship. This is a good chance of that relationship working out with effort. with work on self and home and family. Your healing energy is self-love, self-care. So really, guys, number 2, it's codependency. Yeah. And we have to learn to be on our own 2 feet, alone and happy. So your karma here is like, I've got to break free from my comfort zone, my foundation of being partnered up. I have to go through this dark night of loneliness and separation and feel good about life. And I have to not feel the need to be with this person to be okay. I've just basically got to break free from that and be standing on my own 2 feet, transformed, strong, and in my power. I need to be able to provide for myself, care for myself. Those are your karmas. You have to conquer difficult challenges with financials. And financials may be divorce, separation, living alone, having hardships. Part of your karma is to provide for self. Part of your karma is to transform yourself after a partnership. People have to learn these things in many different ways, and I don't know the way you're going to learn it, but I do know your karma involves a big transformation for you independently. Let's read what your oracle says. Take time out to get to know yourself and what works for you in this particular cycle of life. Some of your biggest obstacles to self-love are self-criticism and perfectionism, expectations, which can lead to harsh judgment of yourself and closing down and eventually illness. If you've been trying to compete with others to get approval from people in your family or simply pushing yourself too hard, if so, you need to soften and start listening to your body. Focus on keeping your heart open and practice acknowledging and recognizing the good in yourself and others. This card beckons you to breathe love in and out of every moment of all day. And ask yourself, what changes do I need to make to my daily routine so that I can pulsate love through every breath, action, and relationship? Choose to open your heart through softness, deep breathing, and relaxation and movement, finding beauty in nature and in your home. You even need to find beauty in your pain or in your love, and beauty in your sadness, beauty in your prayer. Keep an open heart, even though it makes you feel vulnerable and exposed.
I don't know what else to say about Mario. Feels
You were supposed to be in bed resting.
I was supposed to be watching videos.
Okay, then go do that, or you need to go back to bed. I'm gonna turn the TV off.
I'm just trying to ask you to give me some ideas.
Okay, we'll talk when I'm done.
Okay.
And I love you.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. I tried to put him to bed for hours, and he was like refusing. So I let him stay up in his room and just watch a little TV. To rest while I did this video. And clearly that's an issue. Okay. So let's do pile, well, we didn't actually move on yet. Sorry. So do you understand what's going on here with the karma for pile number 2? Getting over pain and suffering and letting it transform you and finding beauty in your difficulty. So your karma is to make it through financial loss, separation, and criticism so hard on yourself as a failure. Self-talk, negative thoughts, negative habits. Those are your comfort zones. It's to break away from them and see how amazing you are. Some of your karmas for pile number 2 is telling yourself in your head or in your heart, just silently, that the reason this failed was because of you. Maybe if you would have done this better, maybe if you would have done that better, it would have been a different outcome. Spirit says no. The relationship needs effort and work independently. And that's why your relationships are failing. Self-love, self-care. part of your karma for pile number 2 is you give too much of yourself to your relationships. And you neglect yourself. And the fact that you do that, you're codependent because you're not a whole person, you're just a part of a person. So you're looking to your partner to fulfill voids because you have no time to fulfill those voids, they do. Yeah, and you need to find yourself by yourself to make this work. But it's not just about a marriage. It's also about relationships with other people. Maybe there's codependency with mom and dad. Maybe there's codependency with children. You know, these karmas can come up in different ways depending on the house placements they're in. Okay? So don't worry. Give it a chance. Once you do some of this, we see a rebirth. That's good news. All right, so there you go, pile number 2. It's a very beautiful, beautiful energy with that amethyst heart. Okay, so now we're going to move into the lapis lazuli. This is a beautiful, it's like third eye, but also the throat chakra too, but I just feel third eye with this one. All right, let's see what's going on. Ooh, I love that we've had all uprights. That's a really positive thing today for this. So pile number 3, we have the Empress. She's in a good position. And this is really about abundance and beauty and growth and being up there, high class. Okay, so there is an energy of class. You have a karma with making more money than most. Maybe coming from a wealthy family. Maybe coming from a family that has a lot. And if you don't come from a family that has a lot, maybe you're creating your own wealth and you're bestowing that on your children. You're leaving them with a lot, you know? So this is about creating wealth and abundance and sustenance and growth. And this is about children, mothering and nurturing children. It's also about being a very important healer and someone that is extremely independent. This is someone that's mature, wise, been around the block. This is a mature, older person. A lot of your karma is going to definitely involve having a lot in an older age. So this is pretty much over the age of 40. But we'll give it some grace. Let's just say 35 and older. Okay? Maybe even 30 if you want to give it a little more grace. But this is someone that's been there, done that. If she gives birth to a baby, it's not her first. She's not a young maiden. She's not a 21-year-old, a 22-year-old, or even a teen. This is not a young maiden. The Empress represents a grown woman who maybe has had 12 children and is giving birth again. You know, this is someone that's done it over and over and over again. She understands the cycles of giving birth and creating life and sustaining life. So she's a very important matriarch. And part of someone's karma here may be that you are a matriarch. Even if you're a male, you may carry feminine energy, where you carry on the connection of family members. You carry on the connection with leaving inheritance or being involved with that, being involved with your family's history. But this is carrying the roots, family to family. A lot of tradition is seen with the Empress. Okay? Let's see what else is going on. The Mask. Not showing your true feelings, hiding a personification of someone, pretending, deluding, and gaslighting. We might have a karma here with a narcissistic mother, or you may be dealing with a narcissist mother-in-law, or there may be just some energy here of a fake. I don't know what's up with that, but there's kind of an illusion certainly going on with that. What's your true statement? Oh, so this has to do with your childhood, my friend. Healing my inner child. Mom and dad issues. Maybe here it's definitely a mom issue. Painful past, family disputes. You can't deny it when the Empress comes in as a family member and a mother, and then you have healing my inner child. I don't know which way you want to put that, but there's some connection here. Maybe you have to mother your inner child. Let's see what else is going on. Rest and recovery before a restart. What is your karma with love? Flirt, extend your lighthearted energy to others. So A, you don't have enough confidence in yourself to be open and flirtatious. You may be very much an introvert because you grew up under the thumb of an extrovert mother. It happens to a lot of kids. Their mom is such a major extrovert and they end up being the introvert. They have a hard time in love. Pursuing love, finding love, getting that attention. We also have a karma here where you're going to end up with someone that gets a lot of attention from a lot of different people, like the opposite sex of them. There's just a lot of flirtation. The person you end up with is well-liked, well-loved, good-looking, and charming. So your karma is you're going to end up with someone like your mother. Whether it's a male or a female doesn't matter. But this is like a mother. So whether this is you or someone, I don't know. But there is a karma here where someone reminds someone of a mother here, and it's like it follows you. It follows someone. Even though they've gotten away from a situation, boom, there it is again. That's the karma. You have to deal with this. Excuse me, oh my gosh. Okay, obviously the sneezing is an omen. Maybe you got to get it out, right? Speak your truth. And there's also a fear of someone talking about you a lot in this particular karma. There's a fearfulness. Thank you so much, markers. What is the healing? The healing is pride. Interesting that pride would be a healing. I feel like if you grew up in a difficult situation here, you think you would have a sense of pride. But you don't, because being with someone like that beats you up. Being with someone that someone shallow that has a lot of girlfriends, boyfriends, someone that flirts at work, flirts online, flirts on Facebook, just flirty, 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 flirty. Part of your karma is the person you end up with is very flirty. You have a lot of karma associated with your 7th house here. No lie. You carry your karma in your 7th house. Very heavy. Relationships for you are just problematic and trouble from the birth. You just jump into this world and it's like, you're learning people are not who they say they are. You're learning people have a front, period. You're learning about vanity also. So part of your karma is you putting on a mask to look beautiful. So we have someone here that wears a lot of makeup, does their hair, dresses to the 9, you know, someone that really gussies up. They do it all, you know, because they think that's important and that's what you need to do to be well liked. Then they attract someone who is an extrovert on top of being good looking and well liked. And now you're dealing with someone that's prideful even more so, to the point where they're probably self-centered. And it's just, you know, they're just a little selfish, self-centered, looking in the mirror. Kind of, it's all narcissist, just it's about me. And you end up in this situation, and that is part of the karma you're taking. You end up with a narcissist. Kind of, not exactly. I'm not saying they have a medical condition, but narcissus. Someone who's like that, prideful, full of vanity, under a mask. And how are you going to deal with this karmas? You need to rest and recover because you have inner child issues that are following you through life from the first relationship you really ever had with mom. For a lot of you, it's mom, it's empress. But for some of you, it could be another, you know, mother-like figure. But this is definitely damaged an inner child, and we're dealing with an introvert. And we're dealing with someone that likes isolation. And it's because the truth has been revealed to you that people are not who they say they are, and you know it. So yeah, 7th house is going to be your karma for this person. Let's get your oracle read here. You may be acting out of arrogance and vanity. Humility is key. When you are prideful, you can become harsh and non-conscientious of your weaknesses. Non-conscious of your weaknesses. This can temporarily make you feel more powerful and superior to others, whilst at the same time cause you to be judgmental, unteachable, and hardened. Have you been fighting, quarreling, and disagreeing with others your whole life? Are you always trying to prove your point or defend your position from someone because you feel like you're being attacked? Are you always trying to prove that point? And do you think that you're always right? By holding on to a shadow pride, you are stopping yourself from progressing mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Stop overestimating your importance and learn to be humble. When you are too proud, you cannot hear other people's advice and cannot receive their assistance. Empowerment means that you can be soft, caring, gentle, aware, and recognize that you need other people's support to achieve your success sometimes. So it kind of feels like your mom or someone pushed you to tell you, honey, the only way you're going to make it in life is if you have money and look good. Honey, the only way you're ever going to be anything is if you go to school and have an education. Honey, the only way you're ever going to make it in this world is to get married young. Use your beauty, use your looks now, because you're not going to have it later. You know, you might have been told some of these things from a mother that, you know, who was really into that financial gain, or a parent that's really into beauty. And sometimes people think beauty is education. You know, so this is someone that didn't believe in you by your heart, but believed in you by your external. So you kind of feel like in order to be liked or loved, I have to look and act a certain way, period. That's what I was taught. That's what I've grown up with. It's not about the inner. And so you end up with flirtatious, fickle, superficial relationships in love. And everyone is superficial in your life, in relationships, because it stems from this teaching. So some of your karmas are attached to third house, but also fourth. Your early teaching, the way you comprehend and learn things, and what you've really taken to heart. So your education at home really took you into this, I have to be kind of superficial in this world. You know, if it's a guy, I got to be big, I got to be strong, I got to be tough, I got to like football, I got to be into cars, I got to be into hot chicks. You know, I can't just be artistic. You know, my dad doesn't look down on, or my dad looks down on me if I tell him I want to be an artist or an actor or a singer. That's ridiculous. I have to make something of myself. That's kind of what this teaching is. Or maybe, you know, whatever, I don't know. Maybe you need to be a pageant queen. You know, and maybe you feel like you let them down. Maybe there's an energy here with this pride, healing your inner child. And your mask is, it's painful to feel like you've let mom down or dad down in some way. So yeah, I really just feel like this stems from either a mother figure, a mother, or the fourth house. But that's your karma. And you definitely have some karma with your moon placements. So check your moon. Because you might have Ketu with your moon. You might have Rahu. You might have Saturn. Okay, but you've got some heavy karma there. We've got to deal with it. Conquer. And you're like, well, how do we conquer karma? Okay, well, that's why I'm going to be here to help you guys. So we're done. Look at that, 44 minutes. That's a sign. That's my dad's number for sure, but that's my sign. So if you picked pile number 3, it's about seeing the truth and loving yourself. You have to take, obviously, just like the other one, take the mask off. Excuse me. Take the mask off. You're not who they say that you are, and you don't need to be. And you need to stop being superficial. because you're going to just attract superficial people. Let's conquer that. All right, so those are the karmas if you picked 1, 2, or 3. We ended at 44 minutes. Now I'm going to answer some questions about how you carry your karma. The reason I came on tonight late, unexpectedly, and believe me, I did not plan on coming on tonight. Ashley, yep, mom and dad with college bullshit. Okay, well, I did not plan on coming on tonight at all. But there is just so much with Mars and Virgo, just so much anger. Assessing one's life, assessing relationships. Listen, we're going to talk about that. I'm not going to spend all night. We're going to talk quickly. But your karmas are going to involve your planets. You have to understand those placements. The way I see it is differently than what maybe you're going to find on YouTube or by other teachers. I don't just teach on a regurgitation basis. I go through my own research and make my own decisions. And I don't have plain white paper. Shoot. Maybe that's okay. Maybe I don't need plain white paper. Okay. No, I can't. That's too distractive. I want you guys to just go with me, flow with me on this, okay? Let me clear out these cards and we can use stones. That's going to be what we're going to use because I need to clear this. You guys are, I hope, pretty much familiar on reading your birth charts. If you're not, you don't know how to read your birth chart, I have an astrology class on the 10th. You can qualify to enroll there by paying the amount asked on jks1111.com. I don't know why I said it that way. That was the weirdest way to say it. But if you want to learn more about reading your birth chart, you can go there. But for most of you, you're going to follow me because you kind of already know. A lot of you guys have been following me for years. Okay. We're going to start with the first house. Let's see. What am I going to use for the first? It's a really important house, number 1 house. I'm going to start with this amethyst cluster. This is going to represent the first house, okay? We're just going to kind of make it like a clock, all right? That's how we're going to do it. First house, okay. Second house is about family and wealth. We're going to use this one for the second house. The third house is communication, education, drive, determination, and desire. We're going to use lapis lazuli. Gemini, so we have Aries, Taurus, Gemini energy coming in, okay? Fourth house is mother, all right? Cancer energy, we're going to go ahead and use this amethyst heart, okay? Fifth house, family and children, it's Leo energy. We're going to use fun. We're going to use my bumblebee heart, okay? Bumblebee is really fun. This crystal's awesome. Bumblebee jasper, I believe is what it is. So that's the fifth house, children and fun. Okay. Sixth house, that's a difficult placement. We are going to use, let's see. It's also about healing and health. I'm going to use my rhodonite for the sixth house, okay? So we're going to use rhodonite for the sixth house. And for the seventh house of love, I needed a rose quartz, but where is my rose quartz? I don't even know if I have a rose quartz out on my desk. I really want to use rose quartz, but since I don't have rose quartz, I'm just going to use this crystal quartz for the seventh house, love and relationships, okay, marriage and whatnot. Okay, so that's going to represent the seventh. The eighth house is death. We're going to go ahead and use, I forget what this is. This is, shoot, it's not jet. It starts with, it's not onyx, it's not jet. I can't think of the name. Oh, Apache tears. So sorry. So we're going to use my Apache tears, okay, for the eighth house. And then for the 9th house, by the way, the 8th house is death and taxes. Death and taxes, right? It's also about inheritance and transformation and deep spiritual, esoteric, and, mysticism, knowledge, education, curiosity, magic. It's also the house of magic. Deep stuff, deep thoughts, deep feelings. Okay, Scorpio vibes. The next one's the 9th house, and this is going to be about far off travel and long-term education, like ongoing spiritual education. This is like far away college. We're talking, way after, your first years in college. This is like, your PhD and your higher education. And that 9th house is going to talk about your deep travels, like to spiritual places. So this is your religious points of view and teaching, but of course that's higher learning, but spirituality, mysticism is seen there, teaching is seen there, grandparents is seen there, a lot of wisdom, knowledge, and it's the house of luck. So I think I'm going to be choosing my, this is an angel moonstone, I believe, like a fire opal moonstone. But I think it's called an angel moonstone. I can't remember quite precisely, but it's got a lot of colors. So very colorful. That's going to represent the 9th house. 10th house, easy. This is about money. This is always about money. I need pyrite for that one. Okay, 10th house is going to represent money, work, fame, your reputation, okay, your gains, all right? But 11th house is more so the gains, but this is about everything that you've attained. All right, so moonstone 9th house, pyrite 10th house, and that's hard work. That's your career. Your 10th house is what you do in this world. This is where you spend a lot of your time. Very important. And the 11th house is luck. It's also friendships, good times, very far off travel or just foreign places. And it represents everything that you have achieved this far in this life and ever will. Everything you work so hard for in the 10th house will be seen in the 11th. What are you going to get from all your hard work? Well, that's the 11th house. How lucky are you there in the 11th house? So there we're talking about luck. We're going to leave my pretty moonstone here, but I have another angelite crystal. And this is going to be like the star for me. I don't know if you guys can see the rainbows. This is like an angelite crystal quartz. It's got this beautiful rainbow sheen. I don't know if you guys can see that. But that's the 11th house. Think of the star card. Just wish fulfillment, gains, happiness, friendships, far distant travels. It's another house of luck. And it's the goodness and the nectar from life. I hope you're lucky in that placement. And the last is the 12th. And this is about deep inner dreams, inner thoughts, inner feelings, isolation, death, revelations, and rebirth. It represents a plethora of other things, but just quickly, that's where I'm going to go. It's about endings. And it can represent hospitals. It can represent courthouses, distant places that are not fun to be in, difficult. It's a difficult placement. But it teaches you so many good things. And so it's an awakening house. You have to get to Pisces before you're reborn into Aries. You have to go through all the zodiac signs before you can achieve moksha and awakening and rebirth and full understanding of what's going on in this world spiritually and physically. So yeah, 12th house. So I'm using garnet. And this is, you guys can't tell, it's a very deep purple. Very deep purple. Kind of like an indigo. It's just, I don't know if you can see it now, but it's got a very beautiful deep eggplant purple with some sparkles. Okay, anyways, so that's 12th house. So anyways, those are going to represent the houses for us tonight to kind of make sense of this. And I'm not going to go full on for like an hour or anything here. I'm not trying to confuse anyone tonight at all. We're going to save a lot of that for the astrology class. But to just help you guys figure out some of your karma, we need to talk about that. because I've seen your comments, I read them, and I'm telling you, you guys are angry. Some of you, not all of you, some of you. And a lot of these questions are, I keep getting doors closed in my face. I always end up in a relationship with a narcissist or a terrible person. You know, also, I'm just done. I'm done with relationships, you know, just angry, resentful, pissed, done with the universe, done with relationships, done with love. I've been let down. I'm fed up. I give up. I give up on all of this. I'm just so tired and exhausted. And, you know, amongst other things, some people are complaining about their ex. You know, some people are upset with their children. Some people are done with their parents. Some people are so done with a soulmate or twin flame journey. And I go through these comments, and I'm an empath, obviously, is one of the things for me. And as I'm scrolling through my comments, I'm just like, God dang, look at all these people. All these people have qualms. Somebody even commented about money, like, I'm so tired of looking for a job. I'm so tired of, you know, in this position. So anyways, I was prompted by Spirit, looking at my comments, to come here and help some of you guys understand your karma. If you have karma in the first house, okay, if you've got karma there, you're going to struggle with you. I'm going to put you here in the middle. If you're in the first house, you're going to struggle with yourself personally. Okay, you're going to struggle with how you look. You're going to have karma. This could be Ketu. This could be Rahu. This could be Saturn. Okay? But your karma is going to very much be a major struggle with yourself. Not being able to understand who you are, not knowing your purpose, not knowing how to be, knowing, you know, how do I dress? How do I act? Where do I live? Who am I? Who do I want to be with? So if you have heavy karma either aspecting, which means one of your planets is looking at the first house, or sitting in. So if you have a conjunction there, say you have a plethora of planets in the first, there's going to be some first house drama. And the first house represents your physical body. And it is going to make you think and question who you are, because it also represents the head. The head is obviously the brain, the mind, the eyes. So you're going to have a lot of pain as far as who you are as a person and what are you doing here. And there will be frustration and loss and constant, how do you say, I don't want to say beating up on, but constant focus into you as a person, where it feels like you are a rock and the waves of the ocean keep smashing against you. I don't know of another way to explain this, but that's what I'm picturing. Ashley, here you said constant battles. Battles is a plethora of the chart. But when it comes to someone's self, say this person is constantly undergoing plastic surgery, Rahu in the first, okay? Say someone is constantly going through financial battles in their mind, in their head, always trying to work hard and think work is the most important thing in life. And, you know, money doesn't grow on trees. And it's just frustration and working hard and feeling like you don't enjoy life. Saturn in the first. You know, maybe it's Ketu. Nothing's important to you. You don't care how you look. You could go out looking disgusting and smelling, and you wouldn't care. You don't give a damn what anybody thinks about you. Ketu in the first. You know, I don't give a damn about any of you. All of you can go to hell. I don't care. I've already been in my past life beautiful. I've already been in my past life famous. I've already been in my past life important. So when Ketu's there, Your karma says, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. I don't care if I live on the street. I don't care if I wear old clothes. It's not your business. So there's a lot of karma there. And with not caring about who you are, what happens? You're judged. You are judged heavily. How you look, how you act, who you are, what you're doing. Everybody's watching you and you are judged. So, you know, that's just Ketu in the first. But there's also spirituality that comes from Ketu in the first. With Saturn in the first, there's great work ethic. Can't talk. Okay? With Rahu in the first, there's great energy spent on self-love and self-care. Spending money and time on self. So there is good, beautiful things that can come from these karmas. But part of your karmas are also going to be troubles and a lot of battles and tribulations. You've got to overcome them. So for every good, there's a bad. For every up, there's a down. But it really affects you personally if you have karma heavy in the first house. Your life is going to feel under fire. Under fire. What do you have to do to heal some of your karma if you have drama in the first? Meditation. Meditation is important. Mantras, grounding, earthing. Calm your mind. When you have so much going on in your head, if you don't have a spiritual daily ritual, you're going to suffer. It's also very important to know what day you're born. Your hora, right? What day were you born? I mean, was it a Saturday? Was it a Sunday? Was it a Wednesday? Because the planet that rules that day of the week is going to help rule your life. If you're born on the Saturday, you better start doing some mantras and some spiritual rituals that concern Saturn. What about a Monday? The moon. Wednesday, Jupiter. Friday, Venus. You have to understand your birth chart, and if you want to learn more about that, like I said, go take my astrology class. It starts on the 10th. You want to learn more about that? Let's learn more about that. Go to jks1111.com. Enroll. You also get a free question if you enroll in the class. Okay? So anyways, if you do have drama in the first house, you're gonna have to spend quality time with a spiritual religious practice that eases your mind. And there are specific mantras, there are specific meditations. I was just using examples, guys. I wasn't going through every day of the week. So we're going to go over here to the second house. What if you have karma stored in the second house? Okay? You want to look at that. This is going to be very financial. The second house is your hoarded wealth. The second house is your bank account, savings account, your house that you may own if you own property, the vehicles that you own, your family that you provide for and put money into. Think of this as a piggy bank, but it's not just for money. It's you work hard and you deposit your earnings into this house. So you're putting money there. You're putting time there. You're putting energy there. Can also talk about work in some senses because you're using work to get ahead. But this is Taurus energy, obviously. But this is going to represent your stomach, your belly, but it's, you know, because you have to fill your belly to be full. But really the second house talks about your taste, your mouth, your words. Put your money where your mouth is. You ever heard that saying? That's a second house Taurus saying. Put your money where your mouth is. Okay? And believe me, that's everything to do with the second house. If you have karma there in the second, it means that you probably grew up very poor. Or you came from a place that you just learned that work was important. And you had to do any and everything to be successful to provide for your family. Your family would also be very important. So if you have high karmic places there, Rahu, Ketu, or Saturn, like I said, that's going to be a house that you really want to work at. Now, if you have Ketu there, you've been there, done that. You grew up rich, or you came from a very wealthy family in past life. So money today, I've been there, done that. I'd rather find spirituality, which is looking at the 8th house. Yes?
I'm hungry.
Everyone needs to go to sleep. So notice that all these houses are always looking at another house. This is called aspecting. Your first house looks at the 7th. Your second house looks at the 8th. Your third house looks at the 9th. Your fourth house looks at the 10th. It's like a clock. Your fifth house looks at the 11th. Your sixth house looks at the 12th. Your seventh house looks at the 1st. And so on. So it's like a big clock, guys. It's just a big clock. Tick tock, hours of the day. And you can even see the cycles through the hours of the day. We'll learn more about that in astrology class. But if you've got heavy karma here, we're just going to leave it very simple. You may struggle with being able to provide. Getting money may be very difficult, especially if you have Ketu there. It's like you're meant to let go of all your money. Every time you get money, it's gone. You spent it all on bills, or you don't have enough. Maybe Saturn's there. You have to work so hard for little. Saturn will give you great blessings financially with time. Saturn's like you have to work so much to have any kind of decent life. So there's a lot of painful struggle financially, being able to feed your family, being able to provide. And if Rahu's there, it's kind of the opposite. You get a lot of money, but you're not happy. Get a lot of money. You can be rich and wealthy, but it doesn't do anything for you. It doesn't solve your happiness or your emptiness or your problems, and you feel like it's never enough. And you look and look and look to be happy, but it's just never enough. So you have to kind of see, what is your karma in the second house? What is your karma? Some people with Rahu there may even be very overweight, very fat. And if you see Jupiter, even in the second, it even expands that. And people with Jupiter or even Rahu in the second house have a big mouth. They can talk your ass off and they will mouth off. They can be vulgar. They don't give a damn. They say what they say, and sorry, you had to hear it. Sorry, you shouldn't be listening. I'm a talker. Anyways, your karma. Let me focus. Focus stuff. Your karma, and I'm going to leave it at that, is going to be a financial situation, but it's also the mouth. And if you have some karma stored here, you, like I said, you may struggle financially for your family or have come from a struggling family, okay? Or you may be very well off and it's not enough. There may be quite the difference there, depending on Rahu or Ketu. But also, your karma may be a mouth issue, a tongue issue. Could have some kind of a mouth cancer or some kind of problems with your teeth. Even gingivitis can be seen from there, or loss of teeth, needing dentures, putting your foot in your mouth, always saying shit you wish you never said. This is, be careful what you say, watch what you say. A lot of karma is going to be attached there. And that's from my research and findings. Not everyone's going to talk about these. It's how I see it. But yeah, we're going to move on over here to the third house. If you have karma attached in the third house, again, it's going to be that Ketu, Saturn, Rahu situation. A lot of karmas are carried there. You may have some very big problems being able to understand any kind of education. Somebody that has heavy karmas there may have trouble learning another language that they need to learn because they relocated and moved to a different country when they were young. Or they have to learn 2 languages in the home. Oh, and that could be second house also. Some of that karma. Bilingual or learning multiple languages in one home. That could definitely be some karmas. But the third house karma may be trouble. Trouble understanding early education, trouble understanding any kind of education, just having a real hard, difficult time with reading and comprehension. People that have a lot of karma there, they just struggle. They can't comprehend what they're reading. It's too much. They may struggle with reading, especially with Saturn there. Or Ketu. They have no interest in education or reading and writing, just no interest at all. They've already been there, done that. They want to do something else. They want to travel. They want to see the world. They don't want to be stuck in one place. They may also have trouble with siblings, younger siblings. And karmas attached there may be constant moving. Constant. Like being in a military family. Always having to get up and go, get up and go. It just creates this up and go kind of early life. And you know how you see that is look how it looks, because third house looks at the 9th. Both of these houses represent travel. This is long distance. This is kind of distance, but they both represent distance. And it's just learning, education, and travel. But also family. Here it's grandparents, mostly grandpa. Here it's younger siblings, important people in your life you're learning from. This is wise and old. This is young and naive, but ambitious and driven. Some of the wealthiest people in the world have Gemini placements. And it's been studied that number 1, Geminis tend to be the most successful. Now, this is tropical Western astrology assessments and statistics. I happen to think there's a lot of Taurus in there, per Vedic, but Geminis tend to be the most successful because they have the most drive. And guess what? Karma's attached to the third house, right? Who are some of the most wealthy people with the least education? There's a lot of them, guys. I'm not even going to start naming them. But there's a lot. You guys can start naming them. I already know there's a list. Billionaires that have a very small education. I'm talking maybe high school. Some of them, even barely junior high education. Even some of the greatest scientists had very little education. Nikola Tesla, Albert Einstein. You know, these people had very little education. Yet they pursued their own higher education, see 3rd and the 9th, higher education through travel, experience, and spiritual growth. Through their own knowledge, their own wisdom, they learned as they got older, okay? They learned as they got away from early childhood education, all right? So karmas may be seen there. But some of the good karmas you can get from that is great wealth, extreme wealth. And this is the house of luck. No wonder, looking at it. So yeah, you can become very lucky and very wealthy and very smart and renowned. Even fame is seen there in the 3rd. So you can become a great person. And if your karma is attached there, understand that some of your karmas may be problems with your family. And I'm saying that because I read my comments and I saw someone who definitely said, I've had problems with my whole family, my whole life. And that means you definitely had some 2nd, 3rd, or 4th house placements. This little arena, these little degrees right here is family. And you definitely had a major impact of karma on them. And they have an impact on you. How are you going to overcome these karmas? Well, this one is through education, but your own education. If you're going to conquer your 3rd house karma, read books, educate yourself, go to Barnes and Nobles, take a reading class, take an English class, get something online. When you have a karma that makes your life difficult, you have to find a way to deal with that. And that's what some of the greats have done. They didn't let their hardships ruin their life. Elon Musk, I think he said he was dyslexic, which means you can't read right. Your words and letters are reverse. Most of them are reverse. My son has that, and it's very difficult for him. And when he was in kindergarten, first, second, third, fourth, even fifth, reading was so hard. He pushed through it. And by the way, he has Gemini sun, but he pushed through it. And he even has, what does he have there? Yeah, he has Ketu, which is that Gemini karma. He does have karma attached to his younger siblings. He does have karma with early education. He does have karma with reading and comprehension, but he's intelligent, smart. He's a little scientist. You have to conquer your karma. You will not let it defeat you. And so when you have a hardship, karmic placements in these houses, what can you do to make it better? This one is get educated. Push yourself. Find books you like to read. Listen to audiobooks, just education. You can't sit there in a piss puddle and cry because you can't read. Try. Get a different tutor. Anyways, and if you're having problems with siblings, you know, counseling or make peace with it. You know, seek a psychiatrist, seek some advice from someone who is educated. What do I do? You know, my family still affects me today. You know, I want to have a better relationship with my siblings, but I feel like the odd duck or the black sheep of the family. Sometimes I think for that kind of a placement, especially for family, because it's connected to Ketu there. Even the moon, a lot of your moons will talk about these karmas in a more motherly, nurturing kind of past life way. But maybe a hypnosis to see your past life can reveal some of your situations on why you're carrying this karma today. And maybe, you know, you had some trouble or separation from your siblings in a past life, and you haven't conquered that in this life, and you're struggling with your siblings because of that. If you want your relationship to be better with them, you have to make it better. And sometimes conquering our karma is conquering ourselves. Not expecting that they need to come to us. They need to apologize to us. They need to pursue us. I'm not going to try. They need to try. That's not always the answer. Sometimes it calls for that. But really, if you want something done right, you get up and you do it yourself. If you want something done, you get up and you do it yourself. If you want something to change in your life, it's no different. Do it yourself. So determination, drive, go-get-it energy, this independence, this I'm going to go after my dreams regardless, this strong confidence really comes from Gemini. Third house placements. So your karma is going to involve get some confidence, get some backbone, get some determination and drive. One of the best ways to solve karma in the third house is fitness. That's what I feel and I've understood and I've researched. Physical fitness, if you have karma in the third, really releases a lot. And a lot of that is because the hands are seen with the third house. So just moving, action, working out, push-ups, jogging, running, walking a dog, climbing. It involves Mercury, which is, you know, obviously ruling Gemini. It's just the hands and the mind. But that is what kind of rules Gemini. And it's just about determination and drive. Writing, journaling, art, drawing, physical activity heals a lot of karma in the third house. So if you are one of those people that has a buildup of karma in the third, get active and get creative. All right, so we're going to move on to the fourth house here. If you guys have some really heavy karma in the fourth, another really important house, just like the first. Okay, so we're talking about cardinals. The cardinal signs are what? 1st, 4th, 7th, 10th. Cardinal. That is the compass. These are just the icings on the cake. This is the substance, the meat and potatoes. So this is another very important house. And this is about your family and your home. Not the one you grew up in, because that's second. The house you grew up in was the second. The house you were raised in was the second house. The house you create and make today, this is your fourth. That's not mama's house. That's your house. Okay? Where you lay and rest your head, where you eat and sleep, where you relax, where's your comfort zone? When you think comfort food, think fourth house. Okay? And when you have heavy karma there, you have a lot of problems at home. Maybe there's constant arguing. Maybe there's constant moving. Constant relocation. Like, I can't live here. I'm getting evicted, or I have to move, or we're in the military, or my business is transferring me here, or I move. You got karma attached. Karma doesn't always mean bad. Karma could be good. You might be traveling country to country and enjoying life. If you've got some heavy karma there. You know? You may have the most beautiful big house. You may live well. If you have some very Raj yoga, some very beautiful Raj yogas there, you may be very blessed in the home. You may have a beautiful wife or husband, beautiful children, well-kept, beautiful home. And sometimes that's your karma. You may be blessed abundantly in the fourth house. For example, you have a moon in the fourth house. Your mother was very nurturing, very affectionate, very loving, and very good to you. Because moon is exalted. Well, not exalted, but the fourth house is the moon's home. Moon is exalted in Taurus, in the second house. Or any sign, but moon is exalted in the second. But moon also loves the fourth. That's its home. So that's just a wonderful placement for moon. And so you could also be a very loving and nurturing, mothering person with a moon placement in the fourth. But it could also mean that your home goes through phases, seasons. Maybe in spring, it's spring cleaning and your house is organized and clean and beautiful. And then maybe summer hits and it's a disaster. It's dirty, it's in filth. And then maybe fall hits and it's cozy and decorative and welcoming and calm. And maybe winter, it's chaos. So, you know, if you have your moon there, there's a lot of good stuff going on, but there could be a lot of drama, a lot of cycles, ups and downs. It's chaos in my home. So, you know, you have to really look at your karmas. What if Saturn's in your home? Well, in your fourth house. Home is kind of a difficult place to live. You may not like coming home. Home may feel like work. You may go home and feel like I'm not happy at home because I constantly have to work at home. I have to clean, I have to cook, I have to work there, I have to teach, I have to do all these things. Home is not a fun place for me. And so you may want to get away from the home. Okay? Maybe, you know, Ketu is there in the fourth house. You may have a lot of losses at home. It's not a happy place. And Rahu, you just want fame, you want to go to work. You don't want to be at home with your people. You want to get away from your people. They're too much stress for you. Too much loss. You don't care about being home, you just want to go to work. And you see a lot of workaholics with Rahu and Ketu placement, because if Rahu's there in the fourth, you don't care about work, you just want to be at home. Everything's about your home. And you see a lot of moochers like that, or people that want to live off their mom or live off of somebody else, or just be spoiled rotten and not work for what they have, yet they have talent. They might be a great artist, or they might be a great mathematician. You know, think about Good Will Hunting. Have you guys ever seen Good Will Hunting with Matt Damon? Well, he's a brilliant mathematician, naturally, just born that way, which is Ketu in like the 10th, basically. And he's just brilliant. Probably has a Gemini in the 10th. And the man could care less about having a good job. The government offered him a top paying job, and he wanted to turn it down to work construction or just be a janitor because he wanted to be with his home. This is your homeland. He wanted to be around his friends and his home and his family. He didn't care about that stuff. Money didn't interest him. So sometimes that can be your karma. Ketu says, I've already been there, done that. Rahu says, I can't wait to start. I want to totally get into this. I'm excited. I want more. So, you know, if you ever have a karmic, maybe Saturn, even just karmic placement, there's a lot of problems at home. Your wife, your husband, your children, and the where you live. If you have a heavy karmic placement in the 4th house, you will have problems providing for your home, living in your home, having peace at your home, or just homes with family. Your children may be a problem at home, or just, you know, maybe it's an obsession. Maybe someone, if it's Rahu there, it's just your karma is, you're obsessed. And you have to look at your karma and other people's karma. I've met people that have karma where their kids are everything to them. Not just important, everything to them. They live for nothing else, period. They're obsessed. And I have met people like that. They want to spend every waking minute there. I knew someone that had strong placements there. Strong karmic placements here. But also they had a Cancer rising. That's what it was. And remember, your zodiac signs and the houses make a difference. Just because you have karma in that house doesn't mean it's that zodiac sign. Where is that zodiac sign? You have to go find it. But this person had a Cancer rising in the 1st and karmic placements in the 4th, like a combustion going on there. This person was so obsessed with their daughter, they had to be with her all the time. This person couldn't even get a normal job because she wanted to be available to go to school and watch over her kid. From the moment they dropped her off, she wanted to watch her there. She wanted to return back at lunch every single day at the school and pick her up after school. And when she had her job, she wanted to take her to work. Okay? And when she was at work, if she wasn't there with her at work, because she had an evening kind of job, she wanted to FaceTime her. Which affected what? Her job. Hello? Didn't I say that earlier? Rahu Ketu? Not giving a shit about work? Not caring if you have a good job or not? Not caring if you make money? Not caring if you get fired? That was that person's placement, and it was heavy. The karma was heavy. And life did not go good for that person. They struggled financially, mentally, and emotionally. And the older that child got, the more detached the child wanted to become from the parent. And that is part of that karma. No matter how much you want this Rahu placement there with the children, that child may run far away because you might smother it. And that was a very heavy placement. And that person had to learn about that. Now, that person's karma included the moon and the 4th energy also, which should have been blessed. They had a very nurturing, loving mother, but because Ketu was there, Ketu and the moon, loss of mother. That person lost their mother at a very young age. And to be honest, I believe it was at 12, which is the 1st house placement when they were 12. And Cancer was there. Moon and Ketu was here. There was an aspect. And the loss of the mother happened, which led to abandonment, which led to clutchy, clingy energy towards the children. Fears, which the moon can be illusions and fears. And anyways, that was the situation, guys. And I'm just describing how some people have karma. How does that person defeat their karma? With the moon and the home energy, it's always connecting to the mother and Mother Earth. If you want to heal your karma with the 4th house, meditate outside, ground. Yoga is so good. Humming, singing, music, and art. The moon loves that soothing serenity. Ocean, waterfalls, rain, all that water energy is so good for soothing some of these karmas. Someone could really focus on that and every Monday have a soothing beginning to their week where it leads them into peace and serenity. Somebody with heavy 4th house placements needs to do some kind of a spiritual ritual on a Monday. And this person should also do moonlight rituals whenever there's a full moon, even a new moon. But this person should be following the cycles of the moon and being willing to change and grow. And this person should also find something they love to do at work, something that they're good at, like art, or working with children, or singing, or music, or cooking. Cooking is very strong there in the 4th. So maybe for career, cooking would be a very good choice for that person. Home decorating, real estate, something that, is comfortable. Let's see what else would be good there. Healing, like a nurse or a masseuse or some kind of a holistic healer. These are things somebody can throw their self into if they've got some heavy karma there. Throw themselves into another line of focus. There's always something you can do for karma. Someone here said Saturn in the 4th. This is going to be a difficult placement because your home feels like, again, you're not happy to be at home. It also means you're not happy with family because your family is restrictive and obstructive and difficult, strict. If you have Saturn in the 4th, you have a very strict mother and father because Saturn aspects the 10th also, which is that father energy. So if you have Saturn in the 4th, think of those upscale families that are like, you have a very big schedule from sun up to sundown. I expect your room clean and tidy. I expect you to be on a good schedule. I expect you to get your ass to school and do extra credit. I expect you to succeed and have good grades. I expect you to do extracurricular activities. I expect you to, take care of yourself and be responsible. I expect you to make good choices and militant. This could be a militant family. It's very traditional because Saturn is old and traditional. Old and traditional. Somebody here could be raised by their grandparents or have older parents, especially an older mom, or someone that has parents that act very old and traditional. They like old school values. So we're talking military, we're talking church, we're talking religion, we're talking heavy, strict, obstructive, you are not free to live your own life behavior. This could, even be like a, very religious family. Very religious. Like Meet the Duggars or maybe a Muslim family or, I don't know, a Jewish family. Like you can only marry a Jew. You can't marry anybody else. Maybe a strict Asian family that only wants them to be a specific way. They don't want them to venture out into other ideals. You need to stick with this tradition. I don't want you venturing out there. And that could be how someone is raised with heavy Saturn placements in the 4th. And there's also a very strict regimen on you better have a good job. If you don't have a good job, you're shit to me. You're nothing. If you don't have a good job, what have you done with your life? You better have a good paying job and you better take care of yourself. That is the only important thing in this world, and that's how you're going to survive. Period. And it's that whole way of thinking where money doesn't grow on trees. This is like 1950s. But that was like a saying in the 1950s. Money doesn't grow on trees. You better get out there and work 9 to 5 in a factory. You better, if you don't want to work at a factory, you better go get college educated and work in some company for 50 years. Don't lose your job. Job security is important. You better go up in the company, you know, be a lawyer, be a doctor, you know, be an entrepreneur, be a banker, you know, traditional things, be it, you know, whatever, just be traditional. And so, yeah, Saturn in the 4th, if you have karmas attached there, that's how you're going to grow up. And why would that be? Why would they want you to strive? Because it would say, we didn't come from that. We came from difficult. We came from trials and tribulations and obstructions and difficulty. We came from lack. So when you have Saturn in the 4th, we came from lack. And so I don't know how old you are in that placement, Ashley, or what the fuck's going on with your life, but it's safe to say that you might inherit some of those traits. And someday if you have children, I'm not saying you're going to be that strict, but I'm saying that you may have passed down some of those habits. And someone with a Saturn in the 4th could definitely pass that down to children and instill those values. And you can see that from people that come from traditional backgrounds. And guess what kind of moms they become? Soccer moms, PTA, they baking cookies and taking them to the teachers, supporting the education system, having mommy me dates with other mommies. When you see people come from that Saturn placement, it's a very strict, regimented schedule. And even if they may not be as hardcore as they grew up, they inherently bring on rigorous schedules for the family. And those are those people that have a calendar on the fridge with dates set. We have Kimmy's birthday on Saturday, Luca's party on Wednesday. We have a doctor's appointment on Thursday. You have soccer on Monday. You know, we have to go see Nana on, you know, the 10th. You know, that's that kind of person. Okay? All their shit's fucking planned. Period. Do you have room for like sitting around and doing bumfuck nothing? Let me check my schedule. I don't know if I have time for doing that. Saturn's not going to let you sit on your ass. This person's cleaning on their day off. This person wakes up saying, hi ho, it's off to work I go. Because home is work. Period. And so, yeah, that person, to be honest, a lot of the karma is I have a hard time just being at home and being comfortable and doing nothing. I can't relax at home. I can't relax at home. If you're going to relax, you got to go to a hotel on a vacation. Or if you're going to relax, you got to go to work where you actually have some peace. And a lot of these people with Saturn in the 4th is my peace is at work. You have an office and it's your Zen place. You're like, coffee, a clock, my desk, everything I can expect in life, clients, peace, away from home. You know, anyways, a lot of people struggle with that. So I'm going to move on from this core placement. But if you have heavy karma there in the 4th, you're going to see a lot of that. Okay? So, and please check your Vedic, because a lot of you guys are just following tropical, but check your Vedics, because this might make more sense in Vedic. And if you are over the age of 35 or even 34, please check your Navamsha, which is your D9 chart, because your life changes dramatically and even your planets change, and that you're going to start to follow the Navamsha chart more so than the birth chart at that time. So things may change for you, and that's probably a good thing. So you can see how heavy your karmas really are and what lessons you had to learn by a certain placement. Okay. Whew. So moving on. If you have karma in the 5th house, what if you have heavy karma there? Oh boy, you're going to have problems with kids right off the bat. If you have heavy karma there, there's some kind of drama with children. Either A, you're distant from them. B, illegitimate children. see too many children that you maybe have trouble providing for. There's a plethora of things that could go on. Even more so, maybe your children just hate you. That could be some karma. Maybe you love your children to death, like you're over smothering, a little bit more like the fourth. Another heavy karmic placement could be being too competitive. Like winning is everything to you. And if you can't win, life is just not worth living. And you may implement that kind of thinking on children. Competitive nature. This is also about acting, singing, creativity, show off, getting attention, the limelight. Think of the sun ruling this planet. Can you miss the sun? No, you see it every day. No one misses the sun. It comes out and everybody sees it. And that's kind of the fifth. It's like things are not hidden. So if you have some karma there, maybe your children are really show-offy. Maybe they're really out there in the public eye. Maybe you might have famous children. Maybe your children are like, if you have good karma there, your children may do very well for themselves. And they may be well-known, well-liked, and well-loved. That would be good karma. There's also childlike energy seen here. So there's also karma attached to being too childlike. And it really depends on your placements. But have you ever met a guy or a girl that you've dated or been with or, whatever, and you felt like they just, Peter Pan. They never want to grow up. They want to be a never land. They don't want to get a real job. They don't want to work hard. That life's just a bowl of candy. Think of that movie, You, Me, and Dupree. There's drama there. Think about failure to launch. Childishness there. So these are some movies that can talk about dating someone that just can't grow up. They just don't want to leave mama's house. They just want to be there, or they want to be taken care of, or they just want to go along for the ride. So there can be some karma with being lazy. But there's also karma with being a show-off. If you've ever met someone that really just wants to be in the limelight, they may have a heavy karma with the fifth house. Maybe they're meant and destined to be famous. That's part of their life. And you can't hate them for it. That's their karma. They work really, really hard at what it is they do. And they're very, very competitive. Or maybe it just comes easy to them. But there's also karma associated with the fifth. And a lot of you are not going to like this. Maybe you have trouble having children. That can be seen there. Either having trouble making children. There could be trouble not having sex. Celibates are seen. Because the fifth house is the house of bed pleasures. Yes, bedroom pleasures. Sexual activity, romance, passion, desire, dating, going out and having fun. That's all dating. So if there's a heavy karmic placement there, this person may never date. This person may never date. I mean, this is like 40-year-old virgin. They never found the right one. They very rarely date. They're shy. They're introverted. Maybe they'll never marry, never have kids. Sometimes that happens. This person, if you have Ketu there, Saturn there, delay of kids. Either a denial of children or a major delay. And again, if you have a delay with children, you can help those things, but maybe you're not going to have children until you're over 40. I've seen that a lot with the heavy fifth house karmic placement. And people can get very frustrated. And sometimes people can't have children the natural way. They adopt. And that's fine. By the way, one of the most famous people that has Rahu in the fifth is Angelina Jolie. Okay? And look at her tribe. She's got a lot of adopted children. She's got twins. And she's got an older one. We all know the dramas that go on there. But anyways, it's a lot of babies. It's a lot of children to raise. And Romance for her has been a blast, but it's also been celibate. And she's a beautiful woman. And, you know, that 5th house Leo is beauty. Beauty. And she also has Venus in the 1st. Duh, she's going to look like Venus herself. She's got Venus in the 1st. Hello, gorgeous beauty. By the way, anyways, yeah, we're not going there. But, you know, you look at the 5th house karma. What was Angelina Jolie's karma? She had a lot of karma built up with children. She had to fulfill and conquer karma with children. But notice, whenever you have karma, you have to conquer these things. She has difficult relationships with her children. She's even said she overloves her adopted children because she feels guilt for them, that they had to go through and experience what they went through as babies. And her children are so blessed. So there's neglect on her biological children. Honey, that is a 5th house karma. And look how her biological children seem to suffer more than her adopteds. Her adopteds have their shit together. Her biologicals, they're having a very hard time, especially with the divorce and all of that. But you can see the oddity, the weirdness. Why would you do that to your own children, right? Rahu in the 5th. And Rahu is weird, unexpected, surprising, shocking, unnatural, a rebellion about tradition. So she's anything but traditional when it comes to children. And that's her karma. Now, if I had to advise Angelina Jolie personally as her astrologer or tarot card reader or spiritual advisor of any sort, if she said, how do I conquer my karma? How do I overcome some of these things that I've inherited in this life that came to me automatically? It was part of my birth chart. It was part of my destiny, my plan. How can I better my situation? Maybe because she's not happy. She's not happy with the outcome. I would say you need to spend quality time being creative. Heal your inner child. She has inner child work to be done. And we all know her childhood upbringing and what went on with that. So she's got a lot of her past that needs to be healed in order to be a better parent. So she's got to start this introspective journey, because look what the 5th is looking at, the 11th. Now she has Rahu there, so she has Ketu in the 11th, which actually, believe it or not, leads to great wealth. But it's someone who doesn't give a shit about wealth. Their karma is, I'm going to get all this money. Money. It's coming to me. Easy. But I don't want it. I'm going to give it away to this charity. I'm going to give it away to this group of people. I'm going to go freaking buy a country and help them. I'm going to freaking dress like a slob, like I don't have $1 billion. You know, I don't care. I have a mansion in the freaking wherever, the hills of wherever the fuck, but I don't want to live in the fucking mansion. I want to go to Cambodia and live in a fucking tent and wear jungle clothes and just sit on the ground and meditate with freaking, you know, whoever the fuck. You know, that's what she wants to do. She doesn't want to live in her lap of luxury like, you know, Queen of Sheba, okay? She wants to be out there with the people. She wants to be out there where there is suffering. She wants to be out there and give what she has away. And she has strong emotions. I don't remember where her moon is. I don't. But she was an ambassador of something too, I remember. So she has great aspirations to travel long distances. Hello, 11th house, because it's aspecting. You always got to pay attention to the aspects with karma. Where you have a downfall, you have a win somewhere here attached to your karma. So she gets to travel and see the world and find herself there and have wealth to do it. That she doesn't give a shit about it. But where is her karma? At home with the children. What do they need? They need her home. They need her to deal with their emotions. They need her to deal with their inner child stuff. They're already children. They need to deal with this now, but she's turning her back there at times to go do what she wants to do, which is her own passions, desires. Fifth house, Rahu. I want to do these things that bring me creativity. I want to go here. It's nice to make babies. It's nice to have children. It's nice to maybe even collect children, because some people want to do that. Or have a family for some whatever. But it's a lot more hard work than you think. And the fifth house is not just making babies, it's raising them. Because the fifth house is early childhood education. What is your upbringings for your children? And, you know, the fourth house is basically infants to, 10 years old to 12 years old. You know, they learn all about the home and the family. But this early childhood education is really like junior high, late elementary to junior high school and into high school. This is the formative years of children. So your children are highly affected there. And it teaches them how to love. How to love, right? We got to learn how to love. How to love. And that's where we learn it in the fifth house. And so if you have karma there, you might have a parent that did that to you, that kind of alienated you, left you for their own career, their own desires, their own fame, their own fortune, left you for travel. They were distant from you. There's a lot of karma seen with that. And so however you see this, if you have karma in the fifth, there could be abandonment issues, or there could be overstimulation to a very competitive parent that maybe wants you to be the pageant beauty queen, like JonBenet Ramsey, or, a super competitive kid in sports. Excuse me, I need to grab my charger. It's literally on life support right now. Okay. Give me a second, please make it. Okay. Oh boy. Saved. Okay. Thank you for bringing that up, Transformation Queen. A single parent, you think your kid's father has karma in the fifth. Absolutely right. When you have children, if you have an absent parent, somehow there's karma in the fifth. Check it out. See your kid's chart, see your ex's chart, or see your chart. But a lot of that for single parenting, for women, you're gonna wanna look at Jupiter. Where's your Jupiter placement? And what is the fifth house placement of raising children? Okay, because there is going to be some karma there for people that are single parents. And there's karma here, I'm telling you, if you can't have children. For men, maybe they're infertile. For women, maybe they're infertile. Maybe you haven't found the right partner. Saturn could be there delaying children, delaying, that. And maybe it will come later in life. Or maybe it won't. But how to deal with those karmas is finding another way. But again, how to conquer these karmas. What do you do if it's not your karma? What if you're just, like Transformation Queen here, the parent that is left single with the child, and the person that carries this childhood karma is the father? What do you do? How are they supposed to conquer their karma? A lot of it is to stop being selfish. Turn this around, turn their compass, focus on healing the inner child, which I mentioned with Angelina Jolie, healing the inner child. Because that person has inner child work, and they've got to heal that. If they can make peace and heal that, honey, they can help heal their karma. But a lot of their karma in their life, and whether you like to hear it or not, is they're meant to focus on their creativity, and they're meant to focus on friendship circles, traveling, and gains from what it is they do. They're meant to deal with some, karma there. Now, if they're not willing to fix their inner child, not willing to deal with their karma, they're going to have suffering. And that's when you see people suffer in their lives. And it's not punishment, it's lessons. They have to learn a balance. And the only way people learn to balance is by suffering. Suffering helps us see the other side. We have to suffer to have compassion. We have to suffer to understand that loss, to do better, to be more focused, to have drive. And we have to have success to see how good it feels when we do the right thing, how good it feels when we're successful. So it's really good for people to find that balance, enjoy life, but also suffer, so they can find a happy medium. And what happens with people that deal with karma over and over and over again, they get stuck. They get stuck on a roller coaster, on a wheel, a karmic wheel, and it's an infinity symbol, and it's over and over again. And they grow older and older and older, and they don't find balance, and they remain in limbo. And when they pass away, when they're reborn, they're going to inherit these karmic placements again, because they're going to have to figure out how to overcome this cycle. They can't stay there like that. There's a lesson they must learn. And basically, the lesson is balance. How about that? Forget the word lesson, honey. It's balance. There's a balance they must learn in this life. Did they learn how to balance it, or did they drop the ball? Okay. So, we pretty much get the fifth. It's about children, and it's about sex, and it's about romance, passion, bedroom pleasures. Yeah. And so if you've got some karma there, you're going to have some hardships or some major, major gains. But remember, where one gains, the other side suffers. There's a yin and a yang. Yin and a yang, no matter where you switch the dial, there will be a yin and a yang. So you got to understand that these are your karmas. Whew. Okay. What if you have karma in the 6th house? Heavy placements, karmic placements, Ketu, Rahu, Saturn, okay, even the moon. But what if you've got some karmas there? Disease. What if you do have heavy karma in the 6th? It's not always disease. I don't want to scare you. I'm not talking about deadly diseases. Maybe just, small ones. Maybe you've gone in life and you've dealt with some scary situations. Maybe, corona hit you hard, or maybe you got herpes from someone, or maybe you suffer from asthma, or, I don't know, asthmatic, anemic, frail, maybe obese. I don't know. But there's definitely, if you've got Saturn there, there's some karmic situations going on with health. There's also some karmic situations happening with financials. There's also karmic situations happening in the 6th, because we're talking about the 6th right now, with law, court, legalities, arguments, enemies. So you have Saturn here, right? Because I understand that. You're going to have some problems at work, and you're going to work long ass mother effing hours. It's freaking 2 o'clock in the morning where I'm at. I'm working, man. Not that I sought out to do this, but my work calls me. It calls me. That's my Navamsha, but it calls me. So you might be dealing with that if you have karmic placements in the 6th. But along with disease and issues, you can also have back pain. Saturn in the 6th is back pain, chronic back pain. Guess what, folks? I have it. And I'm going to tell you the truth. Yes, I have chronic back pain. No lie. And I also have knee issues, which is Saturn energy, which is actually 10th house is knee, but it's still, it carries there. It carries there because Saturn's there. It's the ruler. It's there. There is going to be physical shit, but there's also longevity. Having Saturn here means you will defeat your enemies. You will defeat your hardships. It may take a long ass fucking time. It may take 20 years, but you will win in the end. You will win in the end. Long life is seen. 6th, 8th, 12th, long life. If Saturn is there or looking there, it's good. It's good. So you can definitely see a long life there, but is that good or bad? What if you watch your loved ones die all around you? Would you want to live that long? That scares me. That fucking scares me, and I don't like to deal with that shit. But that's just the truth. That could be some karma associated with Saturn in the 6th. But this could be a workaholic. How do you fucking deal with karma in the 6th? Look what it's looking at. 6 looks at the 12th house, Pisces. That's that 1-7, okay? And Pisces says, I'm your antidote. You have a disease? I'm your antidote. Mantras, meditations, spirituality. Okay? This house represents all things otherworldly. Extra awesomeness, interdimensional, otherworldly, spiritual, psychic, intuitive, just another dimension. So it's to detach from this world and enter into a spiritual world, which is why Virgos are so different than Pisces, yet they fit so well. Somehow they fit so well because Virgo is so well organized and Pisces is a fucking mess, but such a dreamer. Together, they make the perfect creation. It's like one puts in the work, the other puts in the dreams, and it's like a Shirley fucking Temple. Who thought of that shit? Obviously someone awesome. I don't know. I like Shirley Temples. Who thought of a peanut butter and jelly? I don't fucking know. Someone awesome. Definitely a Virgo and a Pisces. I love you guys. Couldn't be more fucking different. I can't live without you. Goddamn, I need a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Thank you. Yes. Yes. Sorry, guys. We had to go there. But again, what if you have Rahu there? That can be extremely obsessive about work, like big time. It could also be, how do you say, the hippo, what is it? Something, oh God, I can't think of the word. Hyperchondriac, whatever. It's someone that is really worried about their health. Okay? I can't say it for whatever fucking reason. Hyperchondriac. I'm trying. I'm fucking failing. I'm trying my ass off. Hyperchondriac. Whatever. This person is always worried about diseases. Terrified. It's like, you guys ever watched the movie It? And that kid with the, asthma inhaler was always talking about diseases. You could get that disease for swimming in the lake. You could get that disease for eating whatever on the floor or whatever. Jeff, my D9, Saturn, and Rahu are in Virgo. Well, we're not worried about the zodiac signs, Jeff. This 6th house could be any sign. Could be Aries, could be Scorpio, could be Cancer. Doesn't matter who is in the 6th. Virgo placements don't match the house placements. Any of the zodiac signs do not match where your planets are in the house. That could be any sign. So I know we did talk about Virgo because that's the natural zodiac sign for the 6th house. And the 6th house will always carry Virgo traits. But your house could have any sign and it would still behave like that. You understand? So the 6th house, Scorpio could be anything. But it behaves like that. But there's tendencies. And each zodiac sign will get a little flavor to the tendencies that are associated here. So say you have God, I just fucking realized something about myself. God damn it. Shit. I'm sorry. I just realized something about myself and I'm not sharing it with anybody. But some of these things come to me and I'm just like, seriously, that's what the fuck's going on with my karma? Okay. Not cool. So, anyways, if you have karma in the 6th, you may have legal problems. You may have hurdles you have to overcome. Maybe you've never changed your last name and it's not your legit last name. Maybe there's something associated with an inheritance and, you know, karma is affecting you because your credit's all fucked and you can't get it. Or it's taking you forever to get it. You know, there's always hurdles you have to overcome legally to get things done. Maybe, you know, there's a venereal disease you might run into because of this fucker you dated in high school and you're like, I hate you. You know, but Saturn will help you overcome it. Rahu would be more scary. Rahu would be a major fighter and a temperamental person. You know, you might have someone with karma that is a world-renowned boxer, but has real drama in their personal life. Maybe is an abusive, okay, relationship. And you're just like, wow, you're such a big guy. I'm surprised that you're going through that. You know, you never know somebody's karma. Maybe their father was abusive. But you want to look there and just see, where does this person suffer? We're going to move on because it's taking way too long. And then I'm just going to talk to you guys about life matters in these houses. But we're moving on here to the 7th house. What if you have karma there? Another major house. This is the most obvious and most everyone understands karma in the 7th. If you guys have heavy karma there, there's delayed marriages. There's no marriages. There's denial of marriage. There could be broken relationships a lot. There could be struggles in relationships, or there could be great gains. Because remember, for every karma, there's a gain. For instance, Saturn in the 7th or Rahu in the 6th. We talked about the 6th. Saturn, Rahu, or Ketu. They would be a great psychic, a great spiritualist, a great teacher, a guru. They may have some personal struggles with work, with money, with responsibilities, with courts, with things like that. But they may be a super spiritual person. There's a gain somewhere there. Same with the 7th. They may have a great relationship. You ever met those people that have just a really blessed marriage? God, you're fucking lucky. Wow, you've been married 60 years? You're blessed. Or wow, you've been in love this whole time and, you know, you're lucky, you're blessed. Very blessed. Some people have a karma of a blessed 7th house. They are meant to marry their childhood sweetheart, their high school sweetheart. They're meant to be married for life. And you're like, how did they get that lucky? Their karma. Their karma somehow led them there. They probably have Jupiter there. Okay? Or moon there. Peace and serenity and beauty and comfort in relationships. Maybe it's very blessed. So you don't understand why people are so blessed versus people that are not. You have to look at those charts to really understand. Why am I having such a troubled relationship? Why can I not make my relationships work? Why do I have to be a single parent? Why do I have to have so many relationships? Look at your planet placements. You know, is it combust? Is there conjunctions? Conjunctions meaning multiple planets in one house. You know, I've known people that have Sun, Mercury, Mars, Rahu, you know, any other fucking planet in the 7th. And guess what? They have a lot of drama in their relationships. They have some beautiful relationships that are just passionate and loving and awesome. And then they have broken ones. And maybe it's all in the same. Hypochondriac. Thank you, basketball fan. Clearly, my own English sucks. Thank you, hypochondriac. Did I say that right? Jesus, what's wrong with me today? Yes, thank you. So that was for earlier, for those of you that are catching up. We were talking about the 6th house. You know, Saturn is fear. Maybe you have Saturn in the 7th. Guess what? You've got some heavy karma. You really do. If you get married with Saturn in the 7th at a young age, your marriage will probably last, but it will never be for love. It will be for duty and responsibility. Like, imagine the Maharaja, you know, or I can't talk, Maharaja, marrying, you know, it would be for duty, it would be for children, it would be for an heir. And it wouldn't be for love. If you ever saw that movie Kama Sutra, same shit. Some people that have Saturn in the 7th can get married. It doesn't always delay marriage, but it could mean that you're not going to marry for love, you're going to marry for duty. For your family, for tradition, for religion. You know? It could be a very loveless marriage. Or, like I said, it could be delayed. You may have to wait till you're 50 to ever get married or have a good relationship. For some people, Saturn there in the 7th means, you know, a committed relationship never comes to you. Maybe this person is going on a spiritual path. They're seeking the self. They're happy alone. And guys, we watch it every day. Ketu in the 7th is that no marriage. No, Ketu in the 7th means divorces for sure. Separations. Traditionally, when astrology was coming out, obviously they thought marriage was final. You know, if you're going to have sex with someone and live with them, you're going to be married. They didn't think that hundreds of years in the future, people are going to be having sex and living together, whether they're married or not. So no, Ketu does not mean no marriage, but it does mean when you come into commitment with a person, it will get broken. And really, 99% of the people that have Ketu there, it will get broken. So there will be a separation. Does it mean you can never be with that person again? No, you could. You could be with that person again, maybe in the future, or be with other people. But there's definitely a separation because Ketu wants to separate you from from that house that it's in. If Ketu was in the 1st, it wants to separate you from yourself and the world. You don't want to be a part of the world. You don't want to be a part of yourself. You want to be otherworldly. You want to be away from this place. Your mind is higher than this earth. And you don't feel connected to people, and you don't even feel connected to yourself. Ketu in the 7th is I don't feel connected in relationships. I don't feel happy in my relationships. I don't want it. Ketu in the 7th could mean I've had relationships come easy to me. I come into commitments. I come into living with someone. I come into dating people. I'm attractive or whatever. We come into relationship, but then it doesn't work out because they're not the right one. There's something missing. It doesn't click. I can't do it. I can't make that major commitment last. I need spirituality because Ketu wants spirituality. Ketu wants to be released from all of this, doesn't want to be tied down, which is a lot of that Saggy energy, not wanting to be tied down. We all know Saggy is the bachelor sign because it always seeking spiritual, you know, but with Ketu in the 7th, it's definitely a detachment from relationships. That is a heavy karma. What does it teach you? It teaches you to go to yourself. Rahu's in the 1st. Love thyself. Seek what you desire and want in this life. Don't worry about your partner's dreams and aspirations and visions and healing. Worry about yourself. And so that karma is to twist. But you feel so comfortable being in marriage because with Ketu in the 7th, it means you make an excellent wife and an excellent husband. because you've already been there and you've already done that. You've succeeded and you've conquered. Ketu represents the flag, or I've already been here. That check mark, I've already done this. So you're very, very good at marriage and relationships. You're very good at it. It's natural. You know how to make a home. You know how to be a wife or a husband. You know how to have a family. You know how to organize and life as a couple. It's natural. And you want that. You want that. It comes easy to you. But this life is telling you no. And there's disruption. You've got to find self. And so anyways, your karma with that is to seek the self, to self-love, self-care. Again, you can make things work depending on your karma. But remember, we said that earlier, karma is about balance. And that 1-7 access, we're supposed to find balance. And if we fail at finding balance in this life, we will do it again. We will come here and learn these again. And for a lot of you, that's great. Maybe you should. Maybe that's enjoyable. Maybe you would like to come here and learn this thing again and do a rerun. Some people want that second chance. They want to go to the judgment card, the judgment seat, 12th house Pisces. Hey, I screwed this up. I want another chance. Give me another shot to get this right. And they're happy. Stephanie, you should speak about karma left up to God. Nat, I don't believe that. It's not. Screwing with people? Yeah, you're gonna be blocked. I don't like that, screwing with people, and you coming on my channel and telling me what I should do. Because you have a belief system, that's for you. Go get a platform, go do your own channel, go preach the word of God to people. Go do that. That's your path. This is mine. And karma is not left up to God. We are not sitting ducks and God bestows karmas on us based on acts or deeds. That's not my belief system by any means at all. And if that is your belief system, I recommend you stop following tarot because that's not godly. And I recommend you follow the Bible strictly. And I recommend you don't talk to psychics or future tellers. And I recommend you don't do yoga. And I recommend you don't be spiritual. I really do. I recommend you cut all that out of your diet, all that out of your life, and you focus devoutly on your religious beliefs, because this has nothing to do with biblical. So if you found yourself here, maybe it was for a reason, but you're also going in the wrong direction if that's where you want to head. Because in this belief system for me here, God is the universe. God, the creator, is spirit, which is a source of energy. And energy is in everything and everyone in every place. God is part of us. And even when you read the Bible, Jesus says, I am with all of you, in all of you. When I leave, the Holy Spirit will be with you. How is the Holy Spirit with you if he's not in everyone? If he's not in bodily form? And furthermore, Jesus came here to teach against religion and against the Pharisees, who were highly religious, devout Jews. So a lot of you guys have asshat backwards, trying to figure out your path. But I get it. Everyone has a different karma. For Nat, your karma is heavy in the 9th house. And it's probably in Capricorn, or there's a Saturn in the 9th house for you. Check your Vedic, Nat, because you have a very heavy karma related to religion. And that's cool. You may even have Capricorn or Saturn in the 1st. And if you have a heavy religious, even Sagittarius in the 1st, if you come from a background like that, then do you. Do your thing. But don't affect other people, please. Thank you very much. Okay, so anyways, your karmas, as I'm trying to explain, and I'm not screwing with people, is seen scientifically in your birth chart based on the planets and their placements in the houses. I'm not doing juju. I'm not pulling shit out of my ass. Okay? I'm not making shit up and trying to get believers and blah, 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 and followers. Fuck all that. I'm sharing with you knowledge, and knowledge is power. If you have the knowledge that your life is based on a scientific, mathematical, spiritual system made by a creator, which is the source of all energy, who knows that you are here for a purpose and a lesson and a reason, and your karmas are attached, it should help you to have knowledge. Because remember, my people perish for a lack of knowledge, a lack of wisdom. In the Bible, check it, Nat Nat, his people perish for a lack of knowledge. And that is the gosh darn truth. People perish on this earth not knowing their place, not knowing their karma. Why? Because they're too afraid to seek knowledge, or they push aside knowledge and wisdom. They don't want to know. They would rather be blind. So let those who have eyes see, and those who have ears hear, because the rest of the collective is shut off. They don't want to hear. They don't want to understand. And maybe that's fine. That's not their time. It's just not their time. It's not their reason for being here on this earth. Maybe their reason for being here is to be super religious. And that's what they need to experience. And guys, nothing's wrong with that. If people want to come here and experience ultra religious lifetimes, they can do it. But it's based on their chart, and we can see it scientifically in the chart. So anyways, the seventh house does deal with other people. It's not always your marriage partner. This is your family. This is the people you work with. Because if this is self, this is you, then the seventh house is everyone else, but especially your significant other. So the seventh house is not specifically and solely marital relationships. Miss Young, thank you so much. You agree with me because I'm learning so much about thyself, and I learned so much from you since I started listening in 2017. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you for following me all this time. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. So, anyways, if you have any kind of karma, especially Saturn, Ketu, or Rahu here, there's going to be delays in good relationships for sure with Saturn. But with Ketu, there's going to be losses. With Rahu, there's going to be odd people that can be superficial and people that you'll meet and have many, many relationships, but it will never make you happy. So it really depends on that karma. And the opposite of that karma is what? People that are super blessed. They have an amazing relationship and they have wonderful relationships with other people. So they've been blessed. So always look at your karmas to understand your life, because everyone has struggles and everyone has strengths. Where you may be having a very difficult time with family in the fourth, you may be super successful at your career. Okay, where you may be having trouble with children, having children, making children, being happy with children, you may have success in traveling the world. Seeing things, seeing people, having great friends, having parties, being wise, being intelligent. Maybe you're a super scientist. Maybe you're an inventor. You know, maybe you really enjoy life, okay? There's a lot to see and do, and you've seen so much. So for every fall, there's a win. You know? Maybe you're financially blessed to the supreme, like, you know, the rich people of the world. Or maybe you're humble and you have meek, you know, earnings. But your gains are family. Your gains come through mother-in-law, father-in-law, or husband or wife. You know, maybe your gains are great through family. So, you know, look at your karmas. We're going to move on now to the 8th house. Now, if you've got some karma in the 8th, there's a lot related to death, and there's also a lot related to spiritual things. If you have Saturn there in the 8th, this is a good placement for living a very long life. So thank God for that, right? But it's also seeing death, seeing the reality of death, witnessing it, seeing friends die, seeing family members pass, seeing war, okay? Having to deal with abuse. Sexual abuse is seen there too. A lot of obstacles and hardships dealt there. And it seems like it takes a long time to find moksha or clarity or awakening in this house with a very karmic placement. So out of the mud and grime of life, out of the difficulty, out of the poison comes the beauty, the birth, the lotus, the perfume of life, the sweetness and the nectar. So somehow there's some blessing that comes from it. So with this karma, it's a lot of difficult experiences. There could also be some karmas with the sexual organs, not, obviously being infertile can be seen there. Also, blessings such as hearing things from the other side, being a medium, seeing ghosts, honestly, seeing spirits, hearing them. Mediums are very much seen. There's some heavy karma there. Inheritance. So a lot of people inherit their psychic abilities from their family. They get it from their great-grandma, or they get it from their mom, or they get it from their dad, but they inherit their psychic abilities. Also, a lot of pain and suffering can come from family if you have karma stored up here in the 8th house. So maybe your family harmed you in some way. There was some kind of harm or abuse or suffering put onto you by family. And that can really be seen. And the antidote to that is what? That you're creating a better family. That you work hard and you gained a lot from even your suffering. Maybe you won a court case. Maybe you had an inheritance. Maybe you were blessed through marriage. You got away from this. But there's always something beautiful that comes from the suffering. So look at your 8th house placements and see, what did you deal with? Did you lose a child? Did you lose a loved one? What are those sufferings? The 12th house is a lot like that as well. But there's also this connection to the other side. So some beautiful karma in the 8th can be a connection to the other side. A lot of strong psychic mediums and intuitives seen. Another thing that you can get from good karma in the 8th is inheritance, such as Anna Nicole Smith, right? She married that rich guy. I don't know if she got paid. Yeah, she did. She had a lot of money from that marriage. She probably had Saturn in the 8th. Saturn is old and traditional. If you marry someone old, traditional, you may inherit their wealth. So this person may have inherited, like Anna Nicole Smith with her old husband, his entire wealth. That would be a placement that someone got, and you're like, how did they get that? What the fuck? What was that? Desperate House? No, not Desperate Housewives. I don't know. Those wives, or Orange County Wives. I don't know. In California, there was a show about women who are young marrying these Silicon Valley wealthy men, and it showed them with their big houses and their cars and all their shit, and I don't know. But there's some karma associated there at the 8th house, and even people that carry okay, example, and you don't have to like him. I like him, but you don't have to. But this is just someone that I know. It's a popular, famous person. But let's just mention here Donald Trump. Rahu in the 2nd house. Great wealth comes from a family of wealth. Okay? Inherited, because Rahu looks at the 8th. Inheritance. Inheriting his father's name, his family's, good name mostly, and a lot of their wealth and things like that. But look at his Ketu. What is he detaching from? What is he losing? He is detaching. Ketu, 8th house, inheritance. So his kids are inheriting difficulties because his name is so in the public and he's been so scrutinized. The Trump name has been devalued because before he was ever president, he was highly valued and he was well known. That was Rahu. And everyone loved him. You know, Whoopi Goldberg loved him back then. She was in the movie with him, Little Rascals. Rappers had him in their videos. You know, he was in South Park. He was in Simpsons. He was in all these shows. He would star in, like, you know, what was it with Will Smith in Philadelphia? What was Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? You know, he went into a lot of shows. Everyone loved him. Trump, Trump, Trump. He was even on Saturday Night Live. He was on, you know, all these shows. Oh, Trump, we love you. He was on Oprah. You know, and that's Rahu there, the karma, wealth and love and just all this good shit, right? Well, here comes Ketu. Later in life, Saturn may be affected here. I haven't looked at his Saturn. But I need to look at his Saturn. But there's some kind of Saturn aspect or placement in the 8th for him. I feel that. But there's loss. And now, after being president and running, his name has come down. Friends have left him. Whoopi hates him. Saturday Night hates him. Actors don't like him anymore. All his being well-loved and fame and fortune just going down. He lost a lot of his wealth because he gave it to America. So he was donating a lot of his money to Social Security and all this other shit. And he didn't take any money for being president, so he was losing there and spending money to do what he did. That is Saturn or Ketu in the 8th. Loss of inheritance. So his children are what? Inheriting a difficult name, inheriting a reputation, inheriting suffering, inheriting ridicule. They're losing more. And there is karma attached because whatever must rise must fall. For every up, there's a down. For every peak, there's a valley. And so you have to see when people have these great karmas, you can always sit back and say, watch, because they may be on top of the hill now, but there's always a down. You know? And so looking at the karmas of the 8th house is there could be some major loss. Loss of property, loss of value, loss of inheritance, loss of family members, or the opposite, if there's a good karma, you know, gain through marriage, gain of inheritance. Maybe you marry like Meghan, whatever the fuck, and she married Prince Harry. Freaking girl gained a lot. She also lost. She lost her privacy. Okay. She lost, I don't know, she didn't lose a whole lot. She's still living in lap of luxury. But, you know, she lost certain things, but she's having a gain. But we don't know what's going to happen in 20 years, 10 years. But I'm telling you, the 8th house karma, it's about inheritance. It's about gains from marriage. Okay, and it's definitely about death and transformation through an ending in death. And so this is a life-changing karma. I don't know what else to say about the 8th house, but let's move on here quickly. I'm wasting too much time here. We're going to move on to the 9th house. We're going to move on about religion, spirituality, higher learning, higher wisdom. Karma is being stored there. Like I said before, you could have come from a very religious background. If you have a karma heavy placed in the 9th house, you may have come from a very devout family and some very, you know, ultra strict religious background. You may have come from a faraway place. If you have karmas there in the 9th house, your family may have, you know, moved thousands of miles into a whole new place. Okay, you may have left your homeland completely. There's also good luck there seen. If you have karmas there in the 9th, If it's poorly placed, obviously you're going to struggle with finding a spiritual path. You're going to struggle with a higher education. You might struggle learning. You might not ever get to travel, you know? So there is karma seen there about having a hardship. Having a hardship with a father or grandfather can also be seen with the 9th house. If you have karmas stored in the 9th house, whether in there or aspecting, something could happen. A tragedy of some kind. But there will be problems. If it's a negative karma, there will be problems seen through the fraternal line. There will be problems with wanting to find a spiritual place, but not being able to get there. Not ever being able to go where you want to go, do what you want to do. If you have a karma stored in the 9th, you may struggle with freedom, feeling tied to responsibilities or tied to some kind of a life, and all you want to do is be free. A lot of this here is rebel and rebellion, wanting to free your mind, free your body, free yourself. Karmas related here are great masters, great yogis, great gurus, great teachers, great leaders. People here can detach from their other life and just really throw themselves into spirituality. And for many, that's a gain. For some, that's a loss. I believe Buddha had a lot of Sagittarius placements. I do not recall his chart. Jupiter rules Sagittarius. But, you know, regardless of that, Jupiter rules the 9th house, which is about wisdom. And it's about teaching, and it's about spirituality, and it's the greater good for humanity. And it's a very feel-good planet. It expands energy. So when someone has karmic placements there, they're either a very wonderful teacher and spiritual leader, or they're terrible. This could be someone like, if you guys ever watched the 100 Club? There used to be a preacher on the 100 Club that really took advantage of people's money. I don't know. That was back in the 90s, I think he got caught. But he was using God's name to get money from a lot of people on TV and take advantage of them financially. I don't remember his name, but I remember that. And he's not on there today. They took him off a while ago. But that might be taking advantage of people. That can be some very bad karma in the 9th house. Or other example, you guys ever saw like those psychic 1-800 infomercials late at night on TV back in the early 2000s or late 90s? You might see some people like call in and it's like totally fake. It's all for show. And people are paying $20 a minute just to get some answers. And so people were paying literally like on the phone, like, you know, $500 for a decent reading. And they would start to tell the reading, and then the phone would click off and it would say, okay, if you want to hear the rest of this reading, deposit, you know, $40 more. And so people are breaking out their credit cards just to get a general answer. And some of those people were not even psychics. I mean, we're very blessed today that we have YouTube and we can see people work and be genuine, and we can see if they're real or not. But back then, you didn't know. You didn't know if you were getting advice from a waitress, you know, or someone sitting, you know, at home somewhere that's not had any experience with this at all, whether they have cards in front of them at all. You know, you couldn't verify those people. So some of the people that have bad karma in the 9th, they may have done that in a past life. They may have taken advantage of people spiritually in a past life, and in this life, they have to do right by them. For some people, if there's bad karma, they've got to put themselves devoutly into some religious belief, whether that's being Christian, Muslim, Jewish, Buddhist, whatever. They have to throw themselves into a major religious belief. And that's not every single religious person out there, but I'm just saying people that may have a very bad karma that, maybe Saturn's there. If Saturn's in the 9th, you have to work really hard at finding a religious and spiritual belief system and putting your effort into it. You have to day and night, every week, dedicate yourself. If someone has Saturn in the 9th, it's like they go to church Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday. And, they're devout, and they dedicate their money and their time to other people in the church. And they may move and relocate their whole life for the church. They may move overseas or far away and plant a church somewhere. That could totally be Saturn in the 9th. Working really hard at religion. Or maybe it's a monk, who has sacrificed his whole life to follow a spiritual belief system. Sacrificed a home, a wife, children. And that is a difficult placement. But what if you have Jupiter in the 9th? Or Venus? Maybe you're highly blessed. Highly blessed. Fortunate, lucky. Maybe, it just comes to you. And you're just a beautiful speaker. Think about Jesus. Beautiful speaker of spirituality. Got followers without trying, just being oneself. It's also said that the most spiritual people that will ever find moksha, ever find spiritual enlightenment, are people that have a family. A stay-at-home mom, stay-at-home dad, or just someone that's a head of a household. Head of a household person can be extremely spiritual and be an ascended master because honestly, they've learned it all. They've learned to sacrifice of self, to love others, to nurture, to teach, to give, to provide, and to, guide others. That is a very highly respected spiritual role. So we've definitely changed the way we see things in astrology nowadays. It's not always about being some monk on a mountain that's going to make you enlightened, or they used to believe that. In this day and age, you can be a parent and be the most enlightened. So a lot of that's seen in the 9th, and it's just about teaching. It's about traveling. It's about learning from far off places. Maybe your karma is not to travel to a far off place. Maybe it's to learn or find beauty in a foreign belief system. Maybe you grew up Catholic and now you're Buddhist. Or nothing, Maybe you grew up, as a Jew and now you're Muslim. Who knows? Who knows what people do? Convert. Who knows? Who knows? But when you have karma in the 9th, it can be beautiful or it can be painful. But it is considered the house of luck. So you're supposed to be blessed there. It's a blessed house. So if you have a negative karmic placement, or someone you love has a negative karmic placement there, you might find your lover, your friend, or your family member hates religion. They despise it. They reject it. They may be lost. You're like, you need help. You need a compass. You need to find Jesus. You need something because you're lost in this world. And so when people struggle and have difficult placements in the 9th, they may be nomads. They may be wanderers. They may be homeless. Okay, they may not have any luck at all. They're totally down on their luck. They have no compass, no path, no drive, no desire, no determination. Looking at the 9 to the 3rd, they struggle with a path. But yet some of those homeless people that are lost may be highly educated. A lot of these homeless people in California have degrees in science and PhDs in psychology. and they're freaking homeless. What the fuck happened to you? You're a doctor and you're out on the street? What happened to you? Karma fucking happened. But also, they have a very difficult placement in the 9th house. Because they're very well educated, but here they are suffering. Because they chose some certain path in life. Whether it was a poor investment, a poor marriage, a trashy religion, they got sucked into a cult, who knows what they did, but they got lost. Look at Tom Cruise. It's like he did a 180. He was hot boy in Hollywood forever. Hot boy Tom Cruise. Wanted in every movie. Some shit went down in his 9th house. I haven't seen his chart, but I know there's some karma in the 9th house for Tom. Because he got really sucked into Scientology. It ruined his career, ruined his marriage, both marriages. Ruined his relationships with his kids. Smart man, determined man, popular man, had a man full of friends, all 3rd house, 1-7. His 3rd house was booming. Maybe Ketu's there, I don't know, maybe Saturn. But boom, it's like his midlife hit, you know, and let's just say what, late 40s? Gone. Where's Tom? He tried to do one movie that failed. It was like Mission Impossible 10, who fucking knows. No one cared. No one watched it. People were more interested in his personal life than his movie. And he just became this weird person that got detached from his family. It just got weird. But there's karma attached to the 9th house for someone like that, where they did a 180 and like all of a sudden what's going on? That's probably his Navamsha. His D9 chart, his Navamsha in Vedic sidereal astrology, there's some 9th house placement there for Tom. And his whole life changed. And he probably became very spiritual and very religious. Look at Justin Bieber. He didn't quite even hit at all near the Navamsha. But once he got married, the Navamsha kicks in, does it not? Which you guys know who study Vedic astrology. So when Justin Bieber got married to whoever that girl was, she was like a famous niece of whoever, Baldwin or some shit. He got super religious. He went from drinking, doing drugs, being mean to Selena Gomez, and just being playboy, and he was abused, and just all this crazy childhood famous star bullshit. You know, and then he settles down and gets married, and it's like his chart fucking changes. Because that's the Navamsha, that's the beauty of the D9. And you see Justin talking about God, how he saved him, how he got him out of that, how he's going to church, how he's being more devout. You know, he's got some karma attached to the 9th house. What about Kanye West? Same shit. Notice these cycles. Okay? Kanye West has got some Sagittarius strong placements. There's some karmic alignments attached to Kanye. And what happens? He gets married. And he was always very attached to spirituality. A very strong feeling that Kanye has Ketu in the 9th in his Navamsha or his birth chart. One or the other. I feel he very much does. South Node. But he did that Jesus Walks song many years ago. So he already had an attachment to religion, to spirituality. And Ketu is like Buddha. It talks about what you know in the past life. So he has a past life connection where he may have been a very famous preacher. Okay, reincarnated here to be a preacher, to be singing and preaching the word of God as his soul knows it. So there is a past life connection to biblical, spiritual teaching. And he is very attached. And even though he wants to detach from it in this life, which is Rahu, you know, 3rd house, Gemini energy, Kanye wants friends, fame, money. He wants to be a mogul. He wants to just really be big. bigger than P. Diddy. Like he just wants to be big, bigger than Jay-Z. He wants that, and you know he does. And so he's striving for that, but this pulls him back, his anchor. And it's Ketu, and it's religion, and it's tradition, and it's family, and it's marriage. And he wants that. And so he's in this tug of war. And you could see his struggle. His compass is doing this. It's acting crazy. Kanye's freaking compass is this. He's trying so hard to find true north. Funny he named his daughter North. I'm telling you, there's no accidents. When I tell you this map is like a compass and Kanye is acting like this on a compass, looking for the true north, and his daughter's name is North, I'm telling you guys, he is looking for balance. His soul is seeking balance, but Rahu and Ketu are a storm for him. They are blowing up. Transits are happening in his life. Divorce is happening. Ketu is what? Divorce. Not only is he struggling in that arena, he's struggling in the arena of religion, spirituality, and beliefs. What do I do? That's where he's at. What do I do? Who am I? Where's my true north? He's looking. He's got some drama going on in the first. I'm not going to sit on Kanye. I've never seen his chart, but I can spiritually read it based on my intuition. I see where these things are going on and affecting people. So anyways, I'll move on from the 9th house, guys. But if someone has problems in the 9th, there is definitely an association of some type with religion. Just happens that way. And there's definitely a connection on the lighter side of good karma, because the 9th house is the house of luck and good karma. When there is good karma there, you're going to find a really good teacher, a really good speaker. You're going to find someone that has a true north and can point you in the right direction, bow and arrow, Saggy, okay, Senator, showing you how to be spiritual and how to be earthly. Show you how to have balance. Half man, half animal, right? It's this mystical being. So when you have good karma in the 9th, you're going to meet an amazing teacher. Someone that shows you Jamini, someone that shows you moksha, someone that shows you the light and the dark, a real guru, a yogi, a Rashi. So good karma can be seen. And this is where you're going to see a lot of those spiritual teachers and leaders and guides. And notice the 1-7. Gemini, Sagittarius. Don't follow the zodiac signs, but I'm just mentioning it. A lot of the good teachers, even on YouTube, have those placements. Watch them. See your teachers and your gurus. Sagittarius energies are known to speak truth. The true north, truth, true. Okay? They're known to speak light. Light is truth. So this is that 1-7. And you're going to find a lot of Gemmies and Saggies public on social media speaking to the world. So anyways, we're going to move on. I hope you guys can somewhat understand the 9th there. But we're going to move on to the 10th. I know it's been so long. But the 10th house energy, karma is associated with that as work, career. And I'm going to make it simple. If you have bad karmas, you're a workaholic, you live at work and you hate it. And you're not bringing enough home. Okay? You're not. You're not fulfilling your dreams. If you have bad karma placements there, you may even suffer going through multiple jobs, never finding your place in this world. Never finding your place. Your home and your work life are a mess. And if someone has bad karma on the 10th and the 4th, God dang it, you know it. This is another major house placement, a cardinal. Okay? And without direction in that 10th, people are lost. People are in poverty or people are suffering. When someone has a poor placement in the 10th, they can also be a poor manager, a poor boss. Someone who is a terrible boss. They only got the job because their dad gave it to them and they don't deserve it. Something like that. Or a boss that's just cruel and insensitive. Or a boss that is just completely not ready for the job. You may suffer working for someone like that. or you may be someone like that. People that have poor placements in the 10th can also suffer from never finding a job and keeping it long. And I've seen that in people with Virgo placements, but also Capricorn, or just 10th house, 10th, 6th. If people have karma in the 6th and 10th as far as career, they're always going through jobs. And you might have a boyfriend like that. You might have a girlfriend like that. One week they're working here, next week they're working there. What the fuck? What are you going to do with your life? They have no clue. They have no clue. They're just getting by because their focus is on home and family. And you'll notice those people do what? Because the 1-7, they live with mom and dad. They live with mom and dad, or they live off of a spouse or a girlfriend or boyfriend. For some, maybe it's roommates. For some, it's brother and sister. But home is to be provided for by their loved ones. And their comfort and their peace is at home, and they'd rather be at home than go out there and work. And so you see people with poor placements in the 10th house, they don't want to go out and work. And that's just a karma. They're supposed to focus on building relationships at home because in a past life, they denied their personal relationships. They did not love their family enough. They missed birthdays. They missed occasions. They missed the connection with family. And so their karma is to focus on family, to focus on the home, to help the person that is the head of the home, to see what daily duties are involved at the home. Cleaning, cooking, laundry, scheduling, health, healing, fun. Those things are seen at home. And this person's karma is to look at the home, look at the family. So, some people have that karma. But again, you have to defeat your karma. Remember, we talked about that. You have to find a balance, because if you're a moocher or a loser, are you going to make this person happy? Are you going to make your family happy that you're there? Most of the time, no. No, you're going to stress them out. You're going to hurt the family, not help them. So yes, a focus is good, but we need to find a balance. Remember the balance. We can't have our compass doing this, because that's what we're trying to do in this life, find a balance. We need to find a healthy balance. Maybe he can find a home job. Maybe he can write books. Maybe he can work at home on YouTube, or maybe he can, make things and sell them online. Whatever, he's got to find a balance to be with family and home and find a job that works with that. But that takes intelligence. You got to have a strong Mercury placement to make that work. Because if you don't have any ideas or any intelligence, how are you going to make a home job work? So again, this person may need to go to school. Or this person may need to take a class to figure something out, but they've got to have drive and determination. There's so much that goes into someone's life. For me to say it in one night in one message, it's difficult. Because everyone on board is part of your karma. And that's why Spirit, the universe, provides you with all these different connections. Serendipity, right? It's not by accident. It's destiny. That's why on your path you have ascended masters, you have helpers, you have mom, you have dad, you have kids, you have friends, you have whatever. These people are all put here to help you master yourself. And they're all going to give you different lessons. So you can find your balance. You're going to hear yeses and you're going to hear nos. Period. That's it. And you're going to find yourself. Now, if someone has good karma, like really blessed karma in the 10th house, fame. Maybe you have sun there. You'll be very well known. Your reputation is seen by many. And your work will be well known, remembered. Your work will be seen. You might work from a place where many, many, many people watch you. Maybe you're on video. Maybe you're media. Maybe you're an inspiration. Maybe you're a book writer, whatever, but your presence will be known. If you have Rahu in the 10th, obsession with work, but also a lot of money. A lot of money can come from that. Hard work does bring good money. Ketu, we don't care about it, remember? We want to let go. I may find this job very, very easy to do, and I may make a lot of money, but I don't care about it. I may blow it. I may blow it on gambling. I may blow it on other people. I may blow it on drugs. I may blow it. You know, Ketu wants to let that shit go. Who cares about work? Like I said, it could also be someone homeless. Someone that doesn't have a job. Someone that can't keep a job. Someone that jumps through careers. Why would you have that karma? To focus on family. But you have to find a balance. Sometimes you just picking the wrong career. I've had people that pick the wrong career for their life. I'm like, you're meant for something political, or you're meant for something spiritual, or you're meant for children. And what do? They go with a career their father taught them. Tradition. And they fail. They fail in life for many, many years. But remember, it's not a loss, it's a lesson. Saturn doesn't want you to fail. Saturn wants you to learn the hard way. And that person learns. And after 15 years, that person finally got it through their head. They need to do something else. And when they did, they were successful. So very, very successful people can be seen through the 10th house with their karmas. Also very, very unsuccessful people are seen. It depends on your karma. It depends on the planets that are there. The next house is gains from work. It's also major luck. It's the most auspicious and special house out of the whole entire horoscope. It's the one that really shows your life. Everything you've gone through and learned and achieved and experienced and given birth to. What is all going to be of it? What's going to become of this life of yours? What's going to happen because you were born? What did you bring to the table? That's the 11th house. What did you achieve? What did you bring? If you have good karmas there, you're blessed. You're going to bring very good things to this world. You're going to change people. You're going to enlighten people. You're going to share your wealth, your goodness. You're going to love others. Okay? You're going to experience wealth. You're going to experience happiness. You're going to experience great travel. See the world. You're going to touch the world. Even if you don't travel the world, your voice, your message, your purpose here means you're going to touch the world. You may not ever step foot in another country, but you're going to touch those countries. Like, think of Martin Luther King. He may have only traveled to a few places, but he touched the world. Buddha may not have touched many countries, literally, but he touched the world. Jesus, he only ventured out, 1,000, not even 1,000, 700 miles. He only ventured out around 700 miles, very short distance away from his home. Could have even been 300. All I know is a very short distance around Galilee. He didn't even go far. He touched the world. So if you have good karmas there in the 11th, you may touch millions, billions, thousands, hundreds, whatever, people. Or you may just be a big presence in your family's life. What is your work and your career? Now, when you guys follow your birth chart, you're going to realize, and you probably already know this, D10, the 10th house, does represent your destiny point, your midhaven. For a lot of you guys study Western astrology, is the midhaven. It's the 10th house. So it's your purpose. That's kind of how a lot of astrologers see, well, what's the 10th house? What's your purpose? Why are you here? So the 10th house is important. But in Vedic sidereal, we follow the results of that house. And so the more important house is the results of your 10th house midhaven. So what is going to become of your purpose? So the 11th house is really what you want to see. And that's going to be your D30 chart. If you guys get in your Vedic, which a lot of you already are, look in your D30 chart and you're going to see who you are in this world. What is your presence? For people that struggle, look at the 1-7. They may never, ever deal with the world or be renowned or have great luck, but they love their children and their children are everything to them. Hi from New Zealand. So you know what I mean? Some people, their whole world is their children. For some people, the world is out there and that's part of their destiny. I want you to know that if you have good karma in the 11th, there's a very good chance you will have great wealth. Because the 10th house is earnings, financials, okay? And if you have good karma, good placements in the 11th, you will be blessed financially. So if you have a good placement there, maybe you have something great to look forward to. If not, don't worry about it. It may not be terrible. Doesn't mean it's bad. Just may not, you know, it may just be average. So anyways, yeah, the results of your purpose, the results of your hard work are going to be seen in the 11th. And like I said, some people have amazing karma. They're blessed. Don't hate on them for it. And some people are just not fortunate. Thank you, XO, for the $4.99 super chat. I have Rahu, Leo in the 10th. Leo, Scorpio rising. What could that mean? Also, Aquarius, Venus, Jupiter, Ketu conjunction. Venus, Jupiter, Ketu. Sending love stuff. Okay, I'm going to take a closer look into that as soon as I get to this 12th house. We're ending here. And then I will get to that love. So as we end in the 12th house, the finale, dear God, of karmas, because I've already been through this. And check my playlist because I'm pretty sure I have a lot more of what I've said tonight in further detail in another video. This is just a quick house by house kind of just chit-chat overview chat about some of these karmas to help you understand what you might be dealing with. But if you have heavy karma in the 12th, I told you earlier, the same as 8th, death, hospitals, jail. What if you have karma attached to you in some way in the 12th house? Maybe someone you love, maybe it's a Jupiter or a Venus. Maybe they're in jail. Maybe they're sickly. You know, maybe they're distant from you by thousands of miles or hundreds of miles. Distance, jail, you know, just this is isolation. This is hardship. It's things that you go through that are painful to make you see what's important in life and seek spiritual guidance. So what happens when you're at a hospital? What do? You seek spiritual guidance because you don't know if you're going to live or die. This person's going to live and die. Or if they're going to come out okay. You're seeking higher spiritual guidance. What happens if someone's going to court? What are you doing? You're praying. You're seeking higher spiritual guidance. Dear God, I hope we make it through this. Spirit, help me. Just let us be through this okay. Help me win this. Or everyone going to court seeking spiritual guidance. What about jail? It's classic. It's cliche, but it's true. People go to jail. What happens? They become believers. They go to church, they read the Bible or some other kind of, you know, religious book, and they follow a religious and spiritual system. Because when you are dealing with difficult placements in difficult houses like that, that's what you do. So everything that makes it difficult rises you up to spiritual. So the 12th house represents difficulties that bring you to a higher learning, a higher knowing, spiritual awakening, and just tower moments, rebirth, phoenix energy rising, okay, the true awakening. And this the true psychic, the true intuitive, the true medium, the true spiritual leader, guidance, teacher. All seen there in the 12th. If you have good karma in the 12th house, you'd make a good leader. Because you would see your work through to the end. All the way through death, you'll take with you the teachings of a higher spiritual influence. And you will teach others and you will take it with you all the way. And this is why this person is a beacon of light or a beacon of hope or a guide or a leader. Because they stand in the doorway like the high priestess into the other world. They stand in the doorway between reality and fantasy. So when you have karmas there, maybe you have bad karma. Maybe it is negative karma. That means this person may suffer from insanity. This person may be what people would clinically diagnose them as insane. Because they're hearing voices, they're seeing things. They've got bad karma there. Now they're what? They're placed in where? Hospital. Maybe they're very violent because they have a high imagination and they imagine this person was going to do that to them or hurt them, or they thought a situation was worse than it is. And instead of being in touch with reality, they were in touch somewhere else and they expressed their violence and ended up where? In jail. Notice these things take you to isolation, and isolation takes you to moksha, a higher place, spiritual place, the awakening, the tower. Through the tower comes the awakening. Through the destruction of the body and the soul comes the rebirth. That's the phoenix, and that's why you go from the 12th house to the 1st. This is the ending of your life, the grave and the ending, and this is the birth and the beginning, the flame. That's how it works. And so even graves are seen here, morgues, mortuaries, all of that. So there is negative karmas attached. There is. Insanity, anger, violence, extreme isolation. Someone that doesn't want to be a part of this world, period. Suicides. There's negative karma seen in the 12th house. Murders. And I tell you, when people have suffering from negative karmas, murders are seen in the 12th, 6th, and 8th house. They always are. And I have seen that through my own observations of my charts and people I've done charts for. In my family, because I've had a lot of that in my family. So I look at that and I acknowledge that those are the houses. And there's a trine. Okay? So there is a connection. And if there is hard karmas attached, you will see that. Even if it's just in the zodiac signs, Pisces, Virgo, Scorpio. If there's, even the signs have a connection to some of that karma sometimes. Mostly it's the houses, but I have seen it in just the zodiac signs. So you have to see where you're carrying this loss, this death, this hospital, this suffering, this jail energy, this loss. There's a lot of loss. Bankruptcy is seen there. Okay? So there is negative energies attached to the 12th. Hauntings, demonic possessions, cults, even in the 8th house. And I didn't share that with you earlier, but I should have. But cults, 8th and 12th especially. They can be seen in a negative karma. But on a good karma, Pisces energy can be a psychic, already said that, medium, intuitive, leader, teacher, guide. Buddha can be seen there in the 12th house placements. Jesus. Okay. Good people, good leaders, good teachers can be seen from there because they've experienced the negativity that life has to offer. And through life's hardships and suffering blooms the lotus. Through the mud blooms the flower, right? So out of the darkness comes the rebirth. That's the phoenix. So when you think about those karmas, watch how people are reborn. Watch how people can come back into this world to bring light, to bring life, to bring love. This reincarnation is bringing back to life the teachings of truth, the teachings of moksha, the awakening, the enlightenment, being close to source, being one with God, being one with the universe, being connected, seeing through the doorway of the other world. The high priestess has the wisdom to share. But through that is a lot of isolation and hardship and pain and suffering. But there's the rebirth. So anyways, you have to see where people strive and where people suffer. So when you, and I'm done, but when you guys watch your family and your issues go through all of this, when you guys watch yourself suffer and you're like, why am I going through this? Look at your karmas. Go back into your charts. Look at those karmas and see, am I suffering with children? Am I suffering financially? Am I suffering from lack of understanding or wisdom or knowledge? You know, do I need higher learning? Do I need better education? Am I suffering from this? What am I not learning? What am I not knowing? Am I suffering from a home situation? Where are my struggles with home? Making a home, providing a home, having a happy home? Where are my struggles with work and career? Whatever area your life is suffering, don't curse God. Don't curse the universe. Don't say, I just got dealt a shitty hand. Don't say my ex is a piece of shit and it's all their fault. Don't say, you know, I'm not going to deal with these shitty people anymore. My family's a piece of shit. I'm done with all of them. My ex is a piece of shit. I'm done with him too. My whole life has just been trashed. I can't wait till it's over. You know, I just want to throw the towel in. I'm so frustrated. Calm your ass down. Calm your ass down. You are not the only one with karma. You are not the only one with suffering. You would do yourself good to remember that. And to remember that this is an area of suffering that leads to beauty and growth. Find that beauty and growth and find balance. Your balance that you're going to find is going to be hard. Why? Because it's a challenge and it brings you out of your comfort zone. And you're not going to like that. You're not. It's going to make you stay up later or wake up earlier. It's going to make you work harder. It's going to make you go within. It's going to make you bring things up. It's going to make you look at yourself. It's going to make you look at life differently. Hanged man. But that's good. It's good for you. So anyways, when I read your comments, and this is why I did this video, and my family is this and that, you have karmas there. My kids are this and that, you have karmas there. My job and my work and my career has karmas or suffering, this is here. Second, you know, I can't inherit what I wanted for my family. My brothers and sisters are a pain. My mom died, my dad died. I'm trying to go to court and get this and blah, blah, blah. You've got karmas in the 8th. My career sucks. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not making enough money. Can't provide. Life sucks. You got karmas in the 10th. The big question here is, what am I going to do about it? It all starts with seek and you will find. Ask and you will be given the answer. Knock and the door will open. Let those who have eyes see and those who have ears hear. If you want peace, give peace. Love is the #1 remedy for all of life's problems. Love thyself, love others as you love yourself. Don't say anything nice, or if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. Find peace in the now. Don't worry about tomorrow, for yesterday already happened and tomorrow's not here yet. Focus on the present moment. There's many, many simple answers on how to deal with your karma. The biggest decision for you is I have to make a decision and a choice to focus on the good versus the bad that's in my face right now. That's a choice. You can either look over here at all the loss you just suffered, or you could look at the future and see all the things that you see in your future for yourself. Happiness, smiles, joy, trips, good times. This too shall pass. You don't have to stare at it. But it also means be responsible and deal with what's in front of you today. Be it work, be it children, be it spirituality, be it body, be it health, What is your arena? Look at your karmas and find focus. And I'm just here to reveal to you the different karmas. You all know where you're suffering in life. Now you can pull up your chart and pinpoint your suffering. Okay, out of 12 houses, this is the one I should look at. And then when you pinpoint that house, you can start to find remedies. Be it feng shui, vastu, meditation, mantras, any kind of healing. Books, videos. There's a plethora of knowledge and wisdom. Remember, seek and you will find. If you need help, you need answers, you need that true north, you need guidance, seek it and you will find it. Remember, what you seek is also seeking you. And if monks pray for more suffering, I'm not on board with that. There's a little bit more enlightenment they also need to do. It's just as bad as an ultra-religious group. You can find spiritual connection there, but will you truly find the ultimate understanding of life? Understanding the creator and the master of our universe is a wonderful thing. But experiencing the creator and the master of our universe is another. And experiencing the creator and the master of our universe is loving one another. Loving the gifts and the nectar of this world that he created. Admiring the craftsmanship and beauty and work that were put into all this for enjoyment. Ignorance is bliss. We all have different paths though, and I get it. But I don't know the word for word, but in the Bible it says, you may be great. You may have a voice that reaches nations. You may sacrifice your life. You may dedicate yourself to the word. You may break your body for the church. You may basically sacrifice all good things in this world and preach the word or show the light of God or the creator of the universe. You may give yourself fully to the creator. And you may be the greatest teacher in the world. But if you don't have love in your heart, then it's all for nothing. This was in one of Paul's letters. Okay, I don't know where it's at, and I don't know verbatim, word for word, what it said. I'm not a preacher like that. But I remember the story, and I remember the message. And the message is, it doesn't matter how much you give to this church. It doesn't matter how much you give to this belief system. If you do all of this, you do it all for nothing. If you have no love in your heart. In other words, if you don't do it with love, if you don't love your brother and sister, if you don't love your people, if you don't kiss them, if you don't hug them, if you don't be there for them, if you don't give them nourishment, if you don't speak life into their hearts, if you don't pick them up off the ground and heal them from their wounds with compassion, if you don't love them like you love yourself, then everything you've done and everything you've sacrificed and all the years sitting on that mountain chanting and praying and all the sufferings you've undergone and all the sacrifices you've made are for nothing. It's like clinging of symbols, I believe it was in the Bible. Your words are like clanging of cymbals. It means nothing because it speaks death. Only love speaks life. When we speak anger and animosity to each other, we speak death. We're slowly killing each other. We're killing our souls, our determination, our drive, our happiness, our joy, our peace. We're killing those. We're killing those things in people. We speak life to them. It's beautiful. It's creation. We're rising them up. telling someone I believe in you and I love you and I'm here for you and you're doing great is giving them life. So remember, don't put a high value sticker on someone because the world says they are the one to listen to. They are the one who's lifted up and glorified. They are the one who is ultra religious. They're so unlike us. They must be holy. Love is in everyone and anyone. There is no higher place in the eyes of the Creator. We are all equal because we all have love in our hearts to give. It doesn't matter who you are, what you've been through, your past life, or your experience. You are a soul, which is a part of the Creator, born to express a piece of the Creator and to help grow something inside of the Creator by your own unique energy. Because the Creator is always creating through His creations. That's why Source, like the sun, the energy gives love and light and healing and warmth and creation and beauty to all things. It's constantly creating and recreating and recreating and reproducing. And yes, love is our greatest gift, our greatest value, our greatest teacher. It's the greatest lesson our soul will ever learn, infinity times infinity. And it is the only important one. And if we can master that, guys, we are a master of the universe, honestly. Anyways, I hope you love one another. I hope you love yourselves. I hope this video has in some way helped you figure out some of your karma. I know it wasn't detailed. I know it wasn't planned. I don't have a notebook with a bunch of fucking notes written down so I could read it to you and have this prim proper video. I don't have this pre-constructed idea of what this video should be. I just came on a whim, reading your comments, seeing your suffering. Understand, and I think the main message I wanted to leave everybody with is if you're suffering, you're not alone. And if you're suffering, there is a way out. And the way out is the way in. Go in, go inside and go inward, and you're going to find your way out. And please don't blame your lover, and don't blame your parents, and don't blame the people who have hurt you. Please don't blame them for the way you feel. They may have done things to you to cause you to suffer. But you choose how you want to feel about that suffering. Mind over matter. You speak love into yourself and you speak life. You have the power to take away that suffering they gave you, transmute it into something beautiful. You alone have that power. They don't have that power. Strip your perpetrator's power by taking it back. Take back the power they stole from you by choosing to live the way you want to live. They don't have that power over you. Thank them for the lesson. Thank you for letting me become wiser, for showing me. Each one of your perpetrators has been a teacher. They've all been a teacher. Anyways, that's it. Please don't be angry with the world. Please don't be angry with each other because all you're spewing and sowing is more of it. If you want to get rid of your pain and suffering, start putting love and light into your life. Speak love and light unto your perpetrators. Love your enemy, says the Lord, correct? Why did he say love your enemy? Is it to make them feel better for being an asshole? No. It's to change your life so your enemy can't hurt you anymore. So that enemy isn't going to cause suffering on your life and cause you to fall. And their karma will be their own. Because like attracts like. And God knew that. Spirit knew that. Jesus knew that. So when he spoke, love your enemy, he meant, let me give you the answer to make your life better. Your enemy just screwed you over and hurt you. Your enemy just kicked you in the guts. You're suffering. Your enemy has the power over you right now because you're fear of them or you're angry with them. And they know how to pull you and twist you. Take back that power. Love them. Show them they didn't affect you. Show them that didn't harm you. And move on. And you're free. And they're left with the suffering and the ball in their court because they received guilt, a conscience, a suffering, a reflection. That's their karma. Yours is to be free. So yeah, when he says love your enemy, that's what he means. It's not to give them a break. It's to relieve some of your pain. It's to make you burdenless. And Spirit says, my yoke is easy, my burden is light. Follow me, and it's as simple as following love. It cannot be that hard. But yet it is. It's some of the hardest things we've ever done. Okay, I will answer your question from the super chat. I'm so sorry. Got lost in there. Okay. You have, I need to write this down. You have Rahu and Ketu. Oh shit, no, okay, there it is. Oh no, you have Rahu and Leo in the 10th. Okay. Of Leo, Scorpio rising, that doesn't make sense to me, girl. But you have a Scorpio rising, so that makes sense. Scorp rising. Okay. And what could that mean? Also Aquarius. You have Venus, Jupiter, and Ketu. So that's your, okay, that's your 4th house. Okay. So this is going on in your 4th. This is going on in your 10th. XO. Okay. So what I understand what's going on in your situation, XO, is at home, you find beauty in your home. So first of all, what did you say? Leo rules the 10th house with a Scorpio rising. Get it? Okay. So in your 4th house, you find beauty and creativity and passion at home, which means you are very creative while being at home. You might even want to have a craft room. You also want to have a very large house. Jupiter in the 4th is like a really big house. Very large, very beautiful, well decorated. You could be a very good home decorator. So you'd be really into home renovation, home decorating, keeping up with modern things, renovating a kitchen. Ketu in the 4th means you're renovating all the time. So here you are renovating, okay? Always wanting to keep your home beautiful, keeping it up, making it nice, because this is your enjoyable place. You also want your home to be your spiritual place of worship. So you're going to have a room there you can do yoga, you can have an altar, you can read books, you can meditate, even if it's in your backyard or somewhere, but you want to have a spiritual place at home. Okay? XO, I interned for interior designer when I was a sophomore in high school. There you go. So yes, confirmation, you know. With astrology, though, it's easy. It's a science. It's already there. Ketu in your 4th means you've already experienced this in a past life, girl. In a past life, you had probably a mansion or a palace or a big, beautiful home, a beautiful, big Victorian home. You had a nice home. Now it's natural and it's easy to you. But the problem with Ketu in the fourth is you don't care about it. It's like you renovate the kitchen and you think it's going to give you that, it's like a natural high. And then when you renovate it, you're like, it really didn't do it for me. You know? And it looks beautiful. And everyone's like, oh, Excel, I love your home. It's so gorgeous. And you're just like, yeah. And I see my next project. I want to do this next. And people are like, aren't you happy with what you just did? Yeah, but there's always room for improvement. And so this Ketu here makes you feel like there's room for improvement. And you're never really attached. At the same time, you might have an urge to move a lot. Because maybe you settle in this home, but then you drive around a neighborhood and you think that would actually be a nicer place to live. I might actually get a lot more done and have a lot more peace if I lived in that neighborhood or in that house. They have a better view. You know, my house is beautiful, this and that, but I need to upgrade. Or, you know, you have this drive to expand, to grow. But Aquarius kind of likes to be in the house of Cancer, but there's a lot of technical design involved with a home. This is someone that might want to look at floor plans. This is somebody that wants to look at measurements. This is someone that technically wants to plan where the vanity is and the kitchen, and maybe somebody who's involved with sciences like feng shui, vastu. You know, we've got the compass and all that shit going through degrees. Okay? So there might be a lot of technical information going into the home. Also, an architect can be seen here, home designer, we already said. But even an astrologer. This is a home astrologer. There's definitely a spiritual astrologer. And for you in your later years, in a more adult life, definitely wanting to do work in a spiritual sense from home. So this is having a, what's the word? Homeopathic? I can't even think today, guys. Seriously, sorry, fuck. But natural medicine, natural healer, Reiki, you know, someone like that, a natural healer. In older years, someone may want to do that. Acupuncture, healing chi, things like that. Having some kind of even a practice for healing or even yoga. We could even see a yoga instructor here. So other confirmation, you said you wanted to be a contractor, an architect, and interior designer when I was younger. Yeah, so all of this, probably your birth chart, EXO. So this is your younger years. But, you know, you might want to jump into your Navamsha, your D9. This is through marriage and a much older adulthood, and that's going to change a little bit. It's going to change after you own a home, get married, have kids. Life is going to change. So some of these things may be different for you today. But you can see a lot of this is proven for your past. Okay? Do you happen to have a video for the life lessons of the nakshatras? I don't, but I will get to that. I had never done that, but I will, because that's beautiful. But you know who I love for the nakshatras is, what's his name? He's got long hair, younger, Victakara. You're going to want to check out Victakara. I love him. I have his books. He's great. Victakara on YouTube has beautiful stories of the nakshatras. You're really going to enjoy him. Anyways, sorry, EXO. But Ketu, some of the karma, because we're looking at karma, in the fourth house is with relationships and the husband or father of your children. Now, this is where it's going to get sticky. This is where there could be a detachment or loss of this man in your life. okay? Whether he detaches from you and moves far, or you detach from him and move far, or this person detaches from, you know, home life and travels a lot. So this person may detach. But you're going to find your love and your passion in the home. And you'll always have a safe place there. And no matter where you go and what you do in life, your home is like your spouse. Your home is your comfort. And you find enlightenment and spirituality through your home and always will. You don't have to go far to find this enlightenment for yourself. It's always right there at home. You create a beautiful space to learn and to grow spiritually. Now, with Rahu in Leo in the 10th, and I really would like to know where your sun is. If you can write where your sun is, that would be really great. But this could definitely be a rise to fame, but it may not be permanent fame. It may be short-lived fame. Like someone that becomes the high school prom queen, or someone that writes a book and has a moment of fame and then kind of dwindles, or someone that, you know, because Rahu is unusual and it's quick and you have to go through the transits of Rahu, see your Mahadasha and your Antradasha, see how those transits work to see if that would happen. Exo, 5th house conjunction of Sun and Mercury and Saturn in Pisces. Oh shit. Okay, so Sun is with Mercury and Saturn. Oh God, that's karma. See, we're talking about karma, and there it is. That's a conjunction, and the degrees matter. I mean, if they're really close, it's gonna go explode, like blending your favorite smoothie and it pops all over your freaking kitchen. Thank you, smoothie. Thank you so much. Try to eat healthy, and this is what I get. You know, that's a combustion. You don't want to blow smoothie in your face. Sometimes our planets like to do that. But when you have the Sun and Mercury, that's pretty good. Mercury likes the Sun, and it means you have a great intelligence. And it means you're very, very intuitive. You're very smart. And when it comes to reading and comprehension, you get it like that. Could be an excellent book writer, actually. But Saturn, mixing with those two wonderful planets together, and remember, it's about how close they are too. You don't want to, the Sun kicks everyone's ass. I mean, it's the king, and it's great. It doesn't really qualify as a planet. It just qualifies as the ruler. So he's good. He's you. So there you are as the Sun. And right next to you is knowledge and wisdom. And understanding. And intelligence, Mercury. But then comes next to you, Exo, is fear, restriction, strict obstructions, and difficulty and delay. So because your Sun and Mercury are there suffering with Saturn, Saturn likes to cause some trouble there because he's malefic, but he's good. He just wants to teach you and help you grow. But he is going to make you doubt your knowledge and your wisdom. He's like that smart-ass teacher that says, "Are you sure?" You ever saw Polar Express? You know, I'm a mom, guys. If you don't know these freaking movies, I'm sorry. I'm a freaking mother. I'm sorry. I watch kid shit all the time. Always have. Anyways, the little girl has to find believing in herself. And the train is going off track. They have to find the brakes. And she's supposed to believe in herself. And the conductor showed her what is the brakes of the train. And so the boy, the little friend that they're riding in the train with as the train is going off the tracks, he's like, "Quick, where's the brake?" And she's like, "It's right there, it's right there." And he's like, "Are you sure? Are you sure that's the brake?" And she's like, I don't know. And she sits down and cries because she second guessed herself. She knew that was the freaking break. But Saturn, the boy, questioned her. Are you sure that's the break? Creating fear and anxiety and kind of a difficulty. And she sat. She just couldn't defeat that. So for you, XO, when Saturn is there, you're going to have some troubles because every time you have wisdom and knowledge, you've gained something, you're going after something with determination and drive, and you really want something because Leo's very determined. Even though it's exalted in Leo, it's very determined. This Saturn makes you ask yourself, are you sure you're ready for this? Do you have enough experience? Is your work really that good? Are people going to like it? And you're like, I don't know. And so there's this back and forth with Saturn and the Sun where you want to go for something and then you wait. And that's why Saturn for you is going to be delay, girl. You're going to delay a lot of the things you want to do because Saturn's making you question, is it time? Is it right? Should you do it? Is this good? And you're going to go through a lot of double, and even triple checking your work, you know, really going and getting advice from other people just to be sure, because mostly you need to believe in yourself. And so one of the biggest karmas that you're going to have to deal with in your life since early childhood, because with Saturn in the 5th, you had a very strict family, much like Saturn in the 4th, and your family would have been very competitive and really would have wanted you to be a big success in school or marriage or whatever. Your family kept you very busy and regimented. Is that a word, regimented? Strict. Having schedules. Creating fear in early childhood, 5th house. Early childhood education, that the only joy and happiness in life, because the 5th house is also joy and happiness, because you have fun in the 5th house, which I didn't mention earlier because I'm too fucking busy and I can't mention every freaking thing in one video. But yes, the 5th house is fun. And with Saturn there, it means you would have had not a lot of fun. That your childhood was a lot of work, was a lot of schedules, was a lot of competition, was a lot of focus. Fun was not always fun. And so that did create a lot of fear. And that inner child being worked so hard and so focused still kind of has a hard time expressing itself as an adult. And so a lot of your karmas is also going to be finding your inner child. Finding that spark and creativity. That joy, that happiness. And if you're able to find that, I mean, you are destined for great success. Because it looks at the 11th house. And Saturn is a blessing at the 11th house. And so it doesn't want to hurt your gains in life. So one of the biggest blessings you will get in life is through career or life purpose. And you will have financial wealth and success, or wealth and friends and travel. But you will have wealth because Saturn says, I will give you that. I will give you that. So Saturn says, as long as you go through these high peaks and you climb and you become, a strong swimmer through this difficult period, I will give you great wealth and friendship and travel and beauty and success. You'll have some luck. So you just have to find your balance and conquer these things. Because Rahu really wants you to focus. Rahu really wants you to focus on career, on your life purpose, which clearly is owning a business. Owning a business, which you may have a lot of fear doing, but you have a lot of good ideas. Check your moon. Your Mercury's good. You have strong work ethic. And your strongest skills are going to be with what I said earlier, home design, architecture, or some kind of a healing practice, spiritual practice. You may even be able to help people design homes based on feng shui or spirituality. You may even be a consultant for spiritual places. There you go. You got the moon in the 9th. Wow, spiritual places. You could have been a very good architecture in a past life designing churches. Like Notre Dame. Like real churches. So you may have, in a past life designed some very beautiful cathedrals or palaces, places of worship, temples. You may find beauty in those places, beauty in those temples. You think they're beautiful. Gardens, fountains, they mean something to you. They move you, and you want to bring the outdoors in, or you want to make these places feel spiritual. So you have a knack for making places feel at home and feel comfortable and inspirational and spiritual. So that's a lot of your purpose. Maybe even redesigning temples or spiritual places. I don't know, girl. But I know that if you follow your purpose, you're going to have success. The only problems I see for you is delays or denials of children. And I don't know your situation. Hopefully it's just delays. Or, you might even, if you have children, this might be struggles with children. And those hardships need to be looked at, need to be mended, need to be made peace with. Also the inner child. XO, I have had so many past life dreams when I was a child of living in a castle and being in a huge garden. Aww. Miscarriages are big in my family. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry. I don't know what's going on with your situation, but Saturn's there. It's causing that. My advice for you is to do meditations and mantra with Ganesha on Saturdays at, I believe it's 4 a.m. I have to double check the time. You might just Google it. But I believe it's at 4 a.m. It might even be at 6 p.m. Oh, God dang. I wish I could remember for you. Google it. I know there's something with 4 a.m. and 6 a.m. I mean 6 p.m., not a.m. 6 p.m. But if you can do a meditation and mantra with Saturn on Saturdays at that time and wear black, or light a black candle at least on Saturday when you do that mantra, you might be able to ease some of that suffering. Also wearing a black gemstone bracelet may really also help keep away that negativity, miscarriage energy, loss energy, definitely. Connecting with your roots is also going to help heal your miscarriages, your child's house, inner child also. So meditating and healing with the lineage of your family, looking at their pictures, thinking of them while meditating, and healing your family line will also help. So anyways, I don't know if you're still able to have children or you want children or what's going on, how old you are, I don't know. But if you do want children, I would recommend those kinds of energies. Drinking herbs that help with that, you probably already know. I literally have 90% of my clothes that are black. I also wear every day onyx bracelet. Okay, girl. Well, you're on it. Signs for truth. I don't think you're negative or positive. Just truth. Thank you so much. That's really what I want. That's really what I want. I work with my ancestors daily. I'm 23. Girl, then you got this shit. You're going to be all right. I'm thinking Saturn's just a delay. If you hit me back with like I'm 56 or something, I'd be like, okay, well, we got to heal the past. But you're young. You can do this. You haven't even gone to your Navamsha yet. Shit will change for you. Check your D9 chart. Check your D7, which is the chart for children. Look at the rising sign in the D7 chart. Go look at your Antradasha, okay? See what dates those planets will be transiting in your 4th house, okay? That may bring a child, depending on who you're with and what the situation is. Fate, destiny always has a part to play. But see if Jupiter is transiting or the moon around that 4th house placement, and see where Saturn is. Currently it's in Capricorn. See where Capricorn is in your chart. See if it's aspecting. If Saturn is not aspecting the 5th house at that time and Jupiter is transiting, that's a very good chance of having a child if you're in a relationship with a soulmate. If you're with a karmic, depends on your karma. If you're meant to have a long suffering with the father of your children or not. You kind of are, though, with Ketu. I don't know. I can't give you everything tonight, but that might help. Jupiter is in my natal placement right now. Okay? Well, the 4th house is going to be a significator for you. All right, well, I'm going to go. I need to go to bed. I don't even know what time it is. I love you guys. Be well. I hope this video helps some of you guys. I don't want you guys to be mad at what you've been dealt with. Just learn from it, and please send love. Send love so you can be at peace. That's all I really wanted to say tonight. Okay. I love you guys. I'm going to bed. It's been long. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I love you all so much. You're going to get through this. Strong swimmers. Remember, this love, this life is a journey, not a destination. So just keep swimming, guys. I'll see ya.